Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I keep saying that at the start, and I don't think I need to. I think that's something to say at the end. Hi. Well, today we will be. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Today we will be playing a Song of Ice and Fire RPG made by yours truly, inspired by all of the previous Song of Ice and Fire TTRPGs that are real, but also just inspired by Dungeons and Dragons and our version Halcyon. I'll be joined by just Ashton here today. We are trying out a new format for the show. It'll be a one-on-one, but you'll be playing two player characters today in different parts of Westeros. If you're unfamiliar, A Song of Ice and Fire is the book series that the television show Game of Thrones is based off of, as well as the two spin-offs House of the Dragon and The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. You've read half of Aegot, the first book, but you've seen all of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yes, that is probably. I've watched all of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I have read almost half of Aegot. I know Rob dies at some point. Spoilers.
I don't know who that is. But...
that has not happened yet for me.
Okay.
So to give you kind of an idea of where I'm at, I do, however, play a lot of A Song of Ice and Fire.
Don't know what it is.
Mod. It's CK3 Aegot. It's really good.
Crusader Kings 3 is like a, what do you call that type of game?
It is. It has like a special name, but it's
you get to control all the
strategy game.
Yeah, strategy game where you get to control all the people and marry them and have vassals and have kids. And there's a very popular mod for it that sets it in the Song of Ice and Fire called Aegot.
Mm-hmm.
A Game of Thrones.
So legitimately 90% of the knowledge that I have on Game of Thrones comes from that. So half of it is wrong.
Which is fun too because it's sporadic. So you'll know like house names or stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good thing you watched Night of the Seven Kingdoms because our story takes place in 235 AC. Season 1 of the show takes place in 209 AC. So it is 26 years after the show. And I would say if you have seen the first season, but you don't want to know any important events, a lot of important events happen after the first season. So, I don't know. Watch and find out what they were.
So, for this time period,
yes,
there's going to be a whole bunch of just us talking about what we know. Mm-hmm. Or at least what I know, so we can apply it. But all I know about this time period, Egg, he becomes the king of the Iron Throne. He has a son named Duncan the Small. That is after this, though. He has not yet had that child, correct?
Do you want me to tell you?
No. I asked it like it was a question. It wasn't. Yeah, that's it, I think. And, of course, Dunk's on his Kingsguard. But
I got way late in the process and almost had him be a Lord Commander. But we don't know when he comes to Lord Commander. And the only reason he would be the Lord Commander is if every other Kingsguard has died. And that shouldn't happen yet. So he is just a member of the Kingsguard yet. And interestingly enough, probably because George R.R. Martin, the author, is planning to write more stories in the future, we don't know nothing about Egg's court. We know things that happen to him, but we don't know any of his members of the Small Council, and we don't know any members of the Kingsguard besides Dunk. But I have made all of those characters. Oh, and that's another thing I mean to say, too. If you're watching this in 5 years, and George did a line of crack and released a ton of stuff, I don't know what this is.
This is different. This is not a Song of Ice and Fire anymore. This is a different thing.
Well, also, I wrote most of this story in 2022 when the idea of a Dunk and Egg show, no one thought that was going to happen. People thought House of the Dragon was going to get canceled because people didn't like the first season that much. I thought it was really good. But
dude, I've heard the first season was pretty good. I've heard the second season
better than the second.
Is spooky pants in the water.
Yeah. First season of Night of the Kingdoms just came out, though, and the third season of House of the Dragon comes out soon. So watch those if you want. Buy the Telltale game.
That is
buy the Telltale game.
That is the one piece of non-television or movie content that I have not played of Game of Thrones. I guess I should just say game. That's the only video content of Game of Thrones I haven't played.
It is set pretty hard in the show universe, but Not to the point where any of its lore couldn't be adapted for whatever reason. It's just like, oh, Dany looks like Amelia Clark, and she's 17 instead of 14 or whatever, stuff like that. But no, very fun story with the Foresters. Play the Telltale game. That's what we're going to tell you to do. Okay.
Otherwise, you will not understand any of this. That's not true.
The game takes place 70 years after this. But no, yeah, the books end. They're currently at 300 after Conquest, and this is 235. So this is 65 years before the main series, and 20 or so years after Now the Seven Kingdoms. So you just see some fun things. And another thing too is we know a lot about the Starks at this time, but we don't know nothing about like the Tyrells, for example. I invented the current Lord Tyrell, who is father to Olenna. Not father to Olenna Tyrell because she came from a different house, but father-in-law. So if we get into that, that just depends on if the story takes place there. You'll get to see a ton of fun lore. But yeah, if another thing too, season 4, we know a bunch of like Starks are running around at this time. Season 4 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms will most likely dive into Winterfell. If one of the Starks dies during that show and they're present here 20 years later, I don't know what to tell you, brother. Maybe after I'll release like an updated, this is what actually happened. We'll see. That is in 3 years. So, okay.
We've got a bit.
Yes. Without further ado, we can begin.
I'm so nervous.
So, the Ashes of Winter. 235 years after Aegon Targaryen I's conquest of the Seven Kingdoms. 28 years before the birth of Ned Stark. 49 years before the birth of Daenerys Targaryen. It has been 39 years since the first Blackfyre Rebellion. 26 years since the Great Spring Sickness that claimed a third of the life of Westeros and changed the trajectory of the Iron Throne forever. 24 years since the second Blackfyre Rebellion and 19 years since the third. For the past 5 decades, the realm of Westeros has been in torment after torment ever since Aegon the Unworthy and what chaos he sowed. Westeros has been a time of great sadness and despair. However, it hasn't gotten any better. I don't know why I said however. 9 years ago, the Starks of Winterfell fought off a vicious invasion by the wildlings of the Land of O's Winter. But all this turmoil and warfare and death and carnage, for the most part, ceased 4 years ago when an event known as the Terrible Winter began. The food caches of Westeros have held strong, but in the northern Westerosi regions where it is the coldest, they will soon run sparse. We see a small group of men on horseback riding through a blizzard. The wind whips around them and blows their cloaks and they're trying to shield themselves. The person at the head of it gestures and has them follow him to a thicket of trees where they dismount and wait for the snowstorm to cease and calm. A younger man comes up to him, a teenage boy, wipes the snow off of his face. He approaches him. He goes, "My lord, perhaps we should turn back." The older man just laughs a hearty laugh and he goes, "It has only been 2 years of winter, boy. You wish to tell Lord Jasper that the Knights of the Vale have stooped so low as to not be able to withstand a little horseback riding?" The boy shakes his head and goes, "No, but sir, how can we be sure we're riding straight, or that Lord Stark will even hear us out or have more caches of food to spare?" The older man laughs again and goes over to his horse, takes a wineskin and starts drinking aggressively. He goes, "Are you touched, boy? These bloody northerners are up to their thick heads in oat and barley and cured meat. These fuckers live like kings of yore while we Vale men starve with the rest of Westeros."
Because they actually know how to like store their food correctly because they lived in the winter the entire
time. "They can afford to gift some if our righteous great lord commands it. Now go patrol the perimeter." He raises his hand and the young boy flinches and nods and goes off. He looks around. If you could make a perception check for this minor lord really quickly.
Let me...
You don't know.
Okay, it's going to be
-2.
-2. That is a 15.
15. This individual is a little portly. He's definitely like the leader of this caravan, and he's looking around. He doesn't notice much. Their vision is very obscured. He looks and he's looking, and he sees movement, or what could be movement, or it could be a monster, or a pack of wolves, or men, or snow. He really can't tell. And he just orders some guards to look around and defend the area. The young man goes up to an older man who has a thick gray beard and is definitely too old to be out here riding. And he goes, "Don't mind him, boy. The rides take a lot out of him." He looks back, and they begin walking just to check the perimeter. But quickly, they cannot see the rest of the individuals. But they're going based on where they just rode, just perimetering. He goes, "A shame we can't just throw him off his horse and leave him in the snow. Would save us on our rations. He's been taking them down his fat gullet every hour on the hour." And the two laugh to each other. The boy laughs. Can you please roll a perception check with a +1 for the young boy as they perimeter?
Natural 20.
Natural 20. The boy looks, and as they're looking and patrolling, he definitely sees bipedal movement, multiple walking. He's like, "There's, sir," and he kind of shakes him, and the guy turns and goes, "There's people." And they both look and goes, "Well, I don't see nothing. Are you sure?" And he goes, "Yeah." And the older man steps in front and looks. And he goes, "No person in their right mind would be out here besides the fucking northerners." And he goes, I think you just saw something." And the boy goes, "Okay." He goes, "Let's get back." And they begin. And as both of them move, he goes, "It is a shame, though. Our food is getting low. Malloy does not think we will make it to Winterfell before it runs dry." And the boy nods, and he's like, "So should half of us go back?" And the older man goes, "Unfortunately, I think we just need less mouths to feed." And he has his hand on his dagger. And the boy is like, takes a step back, and he goes, "So?" And the old man goes, "So?" And he pulls the dagger, but as he does, the sound of an arrow getting loosed. Somehow, whoever fired this arrow is confident and skilled despite the snow. It soars through and hits him in the back of his neck where it is protruding out his mouth. He drops his dagger and goes dropping to a knee as the blood is hitting the snow and melting it. He goes, "Seven hours!" as this arrow is protruding out of his mouth. The boy raises his hand as another one just gets caught in his hand, and he's staring at it, and he goes to run. You hear the sound of a sword getting pulled out as the guy goes, "Northern bastards!" as blood is going down his mouth. But the boy does not look back, and the sound of clanging metal is heard. The boy runs, and he makes it back to the camp where he drops down and goes, "Help!" As he does, another arrow comes and catches him in the thigh, and the men there immediately grab their horses, grab their weapons, and one drags him to the minor lord as they're making a patrol. The minor lord goes, "Fuck happened to you?" And he points to his hand shaking with blood to where he just came from, and he goes, "Northerners!" And the older man goes, "Northerners, they wouldn't dare." Can you please roll a d20 to see how the Knights of the Vale will fend against this unknown faction that is assaulting them?
Second natural 20 in a row. 12.
12. Men start approaching. The boy turns and sees a large figure approaching, and he goes, "My lord, help me," as he turns back to the man, but the man just backs up and lets him fall down, and the approaching figure stomps on the head of the young boy, killing him instantly. The minor lord looks at the looming figure who has stitched pale cloth on that's muddy and ragged in a large gray direwolf emblem across his chest. That man pulls a longsword out and just cleaves in half the minor lord, as his thick guts go to the ground, and looks around him as men who seem to be dressed in the garb of House Stark are slaughtering these errand soldiers. These Knights of the Vale. Elsewhere, a wolf howls. 235 years since Aegon has conquered the Seven Kingdoms, and 235 years of death. However, this winter could possibly be the worst winter ever seen in the history of the Seven Kingdoms. And it's possible that it could be the end of several major factions. In the Eyrie, the capital of the Vale, which is one of the 7 regions of the Seven Kingdoms, things are less dire, but the winds still howl against the castle all the same. but inside the snow has not penetrated the walls. A young boy, about 16, walks through the halls, bundled in his cloak, trying to stay warm as he's looking around, looking for his lord, Jasper Aaron. Can you describe what your character looks like when he is 16?
So walking into the keep of Jasper Aaron, is a pretty tall looking boy. He looks very spindly. It almost looks like he's just lacking muscle mass in places where it already should be. And he is a brunette. He very, very skinny. Otherwise, just pretty normal looking guy or normal looking kid. Very clearly in nicer clothes, so very, very clearly a noble. I keep saying clearly.
Yeah, a nobleman up in appearance. You have a tiny short sword on you, which seems to be kind of fit into a scabbard that you would hope for a larger sword. Make a perception check. So roll a d20 and add your wisdom modifier.
Unless
you have anything else. I believe you are proficient in it. You might be.
In
perception. I don't know, actually.
Nope.
And while we're at it, we can go over your... What is
9.
your... 9. What is your class, background, and ethnicity?
My class is warrior. It's basically the equivalent of... is it warrior in D&D?
Fighter.
Fighter.
Yeah,
I don't know why I was going insane.
Yeah.
My background is noble. We have not heard his name yet, so I won't say that. And yeah, a noble warrior. Only knows common.
The common tongue is what it is called.
The common tongue.
Yeah. And then, your ethnicity is Veilman.
Yeah. I'll get better at it.
No, you're fine. The classes for my A Song of Ice and Fire TTRPG are Warrior, Artisan, Scholar, Schemer, Berserker, Ranger, and Rogue. And then additionally, Godsworn and Mage, which would be very difficult to power scale classes that I would not recommend. If we had a long campaign, they would not come in for quite some time. And then the ethnicities are, of course, every ethnicity for the Seven Kingdoms. I don't have them made yet, but eventually the Skagosi, which are like northern, they live on an island. They're like in the north and they're technically under Lord Eddard, but they're like weird. And then the wildlings, the free folk, and then the clan tribes, and then a ton of all those SOC, like the Dothraki and all that.
The painted men.
Yeah, the weird shit. Yeah. So 9, you don't hear much. What do you think in this moment you're trying to find Lord Jasper for? It's only been 2 years since the winter has started, but the winter's effects came in full less than a year in. You felt cold constantly, having to sparse out meals. Yeah.
The wood in my chambers has run dry, and I cannot find anybody to replace them.
Additionally, the knight you squired under, you became a squire to him because his old squire died of a chill. So people are dropping, not constantly, but once a week you probably see someone that you grew up with passed away, whether it was a handmaiden or a knight that drank too much and as he stayed in an area that you're not supposed to be in past dark and it gets too cold or things like that. You come up to his large council chambers, or his bed chambers, however. Jasper is he cares about his appearance, but he's also very casual with people he's known a long time. It's not unusual for you to commune with him in his bed chambers. You notice that the door is busted open a little bit. The wooden fracture to the entrance is snapped, and one door hangs open, and you hear the sound of struggling inside.
I draw my short sword as I enter the room.
You enter in there, and you find Jasper is being choked by this large, hairy... make a history check, please. A large, hairy individual is choking Jasper, who's holding onto his hands.
And that's intellect?
That would be... History, yes. Intellect.
That's going to be a 12.
You immediately
wait. Sorry. That is going to be a 14.
You
I
definitely
do have proficiency.
immediately know what this is. These are mountain clansmen who... mountain clansmen came into this at the same time as Veilman came into it, they're both descendants of the Andals. It just depends on factions that let knighthood define them or not. These aren't wildlings; they just live in the mountains. They're similar to wildlings in that way, though. Yeah, and they just take pot shots at the Veil of Aaron, taking their supplies every now and then. You haven't seen any in the past 2 years, though, since the winter started. But there's large figure, an order guy with long gray shaggy hair is choking Jasper, and then you see laying on the ground. In the corner is Alice Aaron, his 15-year-old, who has like a welt on her face. Ronald Aaron is his 12-year-old, who is she's hiding him. And then John Aaron, his 17-year-old heir, is being grabbed by the shirt. And then this person who seems younger than John Aaron, this is like a 15-year-old kid, has a knife to his throat. Neither of them seem to recognize you.
Where is the one not on Jasper looking?
He's looking down at the boy, kind of
holding him against the ground.
Yes.
Okay. I am going to attempt to sneak up onto the one holding down Jasper, and I'm going to attempt to drive a sword either into his back or through the back of his head if it's easy to do.
Yeah. Make a stealth check with advantage.
That's gonna be agility. 13 first roll. That's cocked. That's gonna be a unnat 20.
Unnat 20. You creep up. The mountain clansman is not speaking the common tongue. He's just kind of cursing out this boy who looks afraid. And you notice that the dagger is made out of like a dark, oily, pointed stone, actually.
I did say Jasper.
Oh, you went to Jasper, not John.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you come up to him. Jasper's being choked out by this order individual, and you are able to come up behind him. What do you want to do?
Drive the sword either through his back or through the back of his head.
You notice that he has like a thick, heavy metal helmet on, but what you plan to do is put it right at his peak and just shove it down. Yeah, make an attack with advantage.
Oh my god, I'm rolling really good today. That's a 21 base roll and then 21.
Yeah. So roll that damage die for that. And you come up and you just pinpoint it and the guy goes growling as his beard turns red and your short sword pokes out the front of his chest a little bit as you kind of use the weight of the sword to yank him off of him.
And then I am going to use one of the combat prowesses that I got.
As per your class.
Combat prowesses are kind of like fighter maneuvers, combat maneuvers. You can usually use them once per long rest unless they have a different ability that's more passive. What I'm going to use is one called Knockout Artist. Once per long rest, when you land a critical hit on a target, you can... only when you land a critical hit. That is my bad. Never mind.
I could open that. You got a 19. You do.
We messed up.
So what makes it 19 in your critical hit range? That's one of the upgrades you chose for your character,
yes,
right?
So rather than just getting something no matter what at a certain level, you, with Zachary's system, get to choose 2 different options. So the options for Warrior were like, you can get an extra D10 of health. You can
gain an additional fighting style, increase a stat modifier. We don't have the 5th edition out of 20. You just have a flat plus. So if you have a flat plus 2, you can make it a flat plus 3. Gain an additional armor proficiency. Gain an additional weapon type proficiency, weapon proficiency, tool, or reduce your critical hit threshold by 1, but only once. So you chose that. Yeah, and similar, Westeros is a lot more of a terrifying place to live in than like the realm of Dungeons and Dragons. So warriors don't even get proficiency in all weapons. They get proficiency in a ton of weapons, but not like a schemer gets proficiency in no weapons at all. So like, yeah.
They get one.
I think they can pick one. I think it's one of their upgrades. But I think flat. Unless I am misremembering. But regardless, Does not matter.
Weapon proficiency is one specific weapon.
Okay, yeah. So if it said weapon type and you choose swords, you have short sword, great sword, long sword, bastard sword. But if you have a specific weapon type, you can pick like a short sword if you were a schemer. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. But so roll another damage die and then use knockout artist.
Well, I haven't rolled this to begin with, so.
But same critical hit rules. You can roll it once and double it, or you can roll it twice as D&D 5e.
I have to choose before, I assume.
No, you can do it after the roll.
Okay. I am gonna roll it twice.
You got the same thing. Okay.
6 damage, and I use knockout artist. Since it was a crit.
Mm-hmm.
You can force the target to make an endurance check. On a normal failure, they will take an additional d6.
Does it say anything after that?
On a normal failure, they take an additional d6. On a failure of 10 or more, they become unconscious for a minute.
So what is that DC supposed to be?
It does not say.
Then it should just be 8 plus your strength.
Okay.
Or whatever. Do you have strength? You have a higher strength, right?
I have my high stat is durability, but I don't think
strength or agility are the two options. If you're more
strength, yeah.
Okay, so what's that strength?
Plus 2,
oh.
So 10.
Yeah, he did the greater fail. So you stab down, kind of twist it as blood spurting onto your lord, and you shake him and then just hit him with the blunt end of your pommel, making him go to the ground, start leaking blood. Jasper goes, "The boy!" and points, and you turn and see the younger mountain clansman has John Aaron in his hands and turns to you and holds the dagger to his throat, and John Aaron's trying not to cry. A 17-year-old. So older than you, but not very great in stature and a little diminutive of a person.
Corliss is going to attempt to pull the sword out of the man that he just stabbed. Do you want me to roll anything like for it to get stuck?
Do you want to do that?
It's up. Do you think it would get stuck in him?
Or I don't.
Due to the cold, do you think the muscles are not gripping onto it like that?
I don't think at this moment in time, no.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. That's how Jaime Lannister got defeated.
I am standing behind this boy with the dagger like against his throat from behind.
Yes.
Okay.
And Alice Aaron and Ronald Aaron, who are 15 and 12, are behind him also. If you want to attempt to coax them into doing anything, or you can call for guard.
I'm going to attempt to make a sleight of hand check. Was the weapon that the man I just killed, was that just on the floor since he was choking him? Or did he not have a weapon near him?
He had a weapon at his hip.
I want to attempt to kick that sword out of its scabbard and kick it towards the girl that's holding her face.
Without the gentleman noticing? Or the guy that has the blade to the throat?
Yes. I would be talking to him, of course.
Yeah, do you want to try to walk him, like, around? So, therefore, positioning the girls, if they move with him, to the sword?
That way I can just drag the sword under my foot as I'm, like, circling around.
Make a sleight of hand check with advantage. With advantage. Because this kid is just as scared as the victim he has in front of his obsidian blade.
I'm going to act like I'm putting my sword down as I'm doing this.
Okay, yeah.
Good thing I have advantage. That's going to be... It's not touching the edge. 15 plus 1 to 16.
You are able to do that. Putting your sword down, but as you're moving, the girl, like... First, she doesn't even realize what's happening. She is fearfully moving and dragging. But the boy goes... And he speaks with a little bit of a broken common tongue. He goes... we can just leave. And he has the obsidian. And he kind of like leans down and shoves on his father, who's...
Corliss continues, like, I just said his name.
No.
He continues trying to put his sword down. He goes, I know, you can go. It'd be completely fine. Let me just put my sword down, and you can walk out, and you can let him go. And then I'm going to kick the sword over to the girl.
Yeah. You like time the kicking of it with the clanging of your blade to the ground. So, and he kind of tries to look at every way at once. And Alice bravely, runs up, grabs, and just she doesn't do it in a great angle to where she almost hits John. It protrudes in the gap in between John's arm and his stomach as it protrudes out the boy's stomach, and John like frees himself and goes and hides near his father, who holds him tight. And the boy drops his blade and turns, and he just
Corliss
has a
is
sword
going to
protruding.
quickly pick up his sword again and get the last stab on the man so he can claim the kill.
Yeah. He drops to his knees. This boy, do you want to grab both blades and
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah, I go scissor motion behind his head.
Yeah, a blood spurts. You just kind of sit there gasping. You hear loud footsteps quickly approach.
I drop both blades.
Pounding in his Baelish. Baelish is a probably mid 40s, late 40s, a gentleman who has long gray hair and he has a weathered, slightly tanned face. He has heavy plate armor and goes, "What the boy?" He comes and like pulls you close and like looks at the bodies. He's like, "My lord." He comes to Jesper. "Is everything okay?" And Jesper goes, "Yes, a clansman, a patrol. Just grab all the patrolmen and lock down the gates and any entrance." And Baelish goes, "Yes, my lord." He takes you by your arm and kind of moves you forward. A guard is approaching. Goes, "Make sure no one gets in that room," and he helps you rush.
As he's walking me out of the room, I'm going to look up at Baelish, and with a little bit of like shine in his eyes, he's going to say, "Does this mean I can get the sword back?"
Okay.
It's so sad.
He won't be. No one's thinking of that right now, but they will think of it after the fact. Come. And did you make sure to grab your short sword as you left? Yeah. He goes, "Okay. I need you to find your cousin. And I will find your cousin should be on the east side, and I will find any men on the west side." And he holds you in your face. He goes, "Corliss, I need you to move fast. Okay, just notify as quick as you can everyone to lock down the gates and search for any more clansmen."
Okay.
He pats your face, gets some blood on his hand, and you guys rush off. Make an agility check, please.
Can I substitute that for an endurance check to rather keep up my speed rather than going for a top speed?
I like that, yes.
And also, that's just what I have.
Yeah. But that's good reason.
Is that durability?
Yes, you roll endurance and add your durability modifier, and then if you're proficient in the endurance skill.
This is going to be a +7.
Oh. And then for anybody curious, we use the same 6 stats, except for the fact of strength is strength, agility is dexterity, as D&D 5e, durability is constitution, intellect is intelligence, wisdom is wisdom, and allure is charisma.
Got a natural 1, so technically an 8.
You're rushing.
No.
And, you're rushing, but quickly you realize you failed to align yourself properly and preserve your energy, and you're gasping by the end.
Probably a panic attack. He just killed somebody for the first time.
Probably, yeah. Panic attack, definitely. You take a wrong turn, and you burst out, and you are on a rooftop of the Erie that is, like, coated in snow. Just looking around, too many things going on at once. The cold hits you so quickly.
I'm going to attempt to pick up some snow in my hand and just plant my face into it.
Yeah. Can I get another durability check to resonate yourself as you calm down the heat? You get some of the blood off of your face.
You said endurance.
Yes.
19 + 7, 26.
26.
Does that work? Turns out it's a reverse roll. I needed to get low if I wanted to.
You focus and burst through, and as you're running this time, you notice every corner properly. You turn, and you see your cousin Harold Templeton, who is your maternal cousin, your mother's brother. He is one of his handful of sons. He's his youngest son, so he's staying at court as a ward. Especially during this winter, a lot of people are staying in the Erie. They leave their castles completely uninhabited if it's a minor castle. More people than normal. You see he's like talking, listening to 2 elder knights, two older knights who are just like they're casually talking, and you see writing on this is in the courtyard now. The gate is slammed shut, but you do see climbing on the iron patchwork of the gate. 2 figures in deep dark cloths are climbing, and they're about to make it over the wall where 2 guards sit oblivious, listening down to the conversation that is being said by Harold to these 2 men. snow is everywhere.
Is there a lamp in this room?
In the courtyard, there were probably
Or like a torch?
probably a sconce. So one of those horns that has oil in it and a light and a torch, basically.
I'm going to grab the sconce and a separate source of a flame, so either a torch that's on the wall or something, and I'm going to pour the oil down the wall onto the men, and then drop the torch on top of them as well.
Yeah. So you grab the sconce, rush up.
While, of course, drawing attention to myself as I'm doing it.
Yeah, you run. One man is just looking down on the other side, listening to Harold talk to these knights, enamored by this boy who wants to be a knight one day. You snag the torch out of his hand, and as the front one is about to crest over, you slam it in his face and slam the torch down. You gets lit on fire and falls backward, knocking the other one off as everyone turns and freaks out. And one guy goes to us, Crowman! Or Klansman, not Crowman, but yelling it out.
I was like, that's crazy.
Nice watch. Klansman! Yelling it out as people turn and grab their swords. You look in on another wall. There was two people climbing, but one is run right as one crests a spear, gets put right through his head, and he takes the spear with him as he falls. And you see people on the other side jumping and fleeing and rushing away. As you just sit there, your hand's like lightly on fire, and the one guy comes up and grabs your hand and slams it on the snow. Boy,
Templeton, where is he?
He turns and Harold is staring. Harold's probably about 14 at this point, so 2 years younger than you. Just staring and gasping.
I'm gonna go grab him by the bicep of his arm, and I'm gonna get really close up into his face, and I'm gonna say, "We need to go to Baelish now." That's what he said?
Baelish, yes.
He said to go to him.
Yeah, he said get them, warn people, and then come to him to make sure. Yeah. You slide down the snow and land and grab him and goes, "Oh, okay." And you guys rush. You come to the other opposite side of the courtyard, and you burst through this door. You see Baelish is engaged with 3 men as other Knights of the Vale are dragging away injured men. 3 people are fighting Baelish. One has like a little hook, and the other one is just punching at him, and one has a big long sword and swinging, and he's blocking the 3 of them. But he does seem like he's getting weathered.
I'm gonna attempt to tackle one of them.
Yeah, make a strength check with advantage because they're distracted, and an athletics check. With advantage.
I just got another natural 1, by the way. I've had 1 nat 20, 2 natural 1s. Just to keep track.
I mean, you've done everything. You already changed the trajectory of Westeros. You saved John Aaron. That's a big important. So now you die. 40-minute one shot. 1-1. You come in and slam into the one that has no weapons. The one that has like the little hook weapon made of like a bone turns, and Baelish just swings up and decapitates the man. And as the one with the long sword, they tackle into each other. Make another athletics check as you're grappling with this guy on the ground.
I got a 4.
4. He's choking you faster now and like punching down. Harold comes up and grabs him and he just gets backhanded and slammed down. But you do hear, you can't see because he's like shoving your face into the snow. You hear sounds of stabbing and bleeding off to the side where Baelish went off with the other mountain clansmen. And you're just choking and holding on for a second as you two grapple.
I want to try and turn my head and bite the man who's holding me down's nose.
Make an unarmed strike.
12.
You go to bite and he like puts his disgusting leathered gloves with mud and blood and snow on them in your mouth, and you try to bite down heavy, but it is hard with how fatigued you are to get through the glove, and he kind of like grabs your jaw and slams your face down and goes and grabs a rock and lifts it, and as he lifts it, he's lifting and he turns and he's just lifting a much lighter portion of his arm as his forearm's gone, and coming up, Baelish calmly sets the blade like on his sternum and just shoves all the way through and drops him. Baelish kind of drops to his knees. He is by this time standards, and with the winter, he's an old man who is in steel plate, exhausted. He goes, "Up, boy," and helps you get up.
I try and find a clean patch of snow and I put it in my mouth to wash out the
blood and like a busted lip. That seeping blood comes out. He goes, "We need to get inside."
Okay.
You guys go inside, and everyone's calm and drinking and drinking the water they have, and some are drinking wine. Jasper comes up. He's been cleaned up, but he still has some blood by the corners of his mouth, and he goes, minutes and minutes and minutes have passed, and he comes in and goes, "No more mountain clansmen have been spotted." And he seems like he's exhausted just from walking. He's a bit of a portly individual, in his 30s to 40s, around there. He sits down. He goes, "Accommodations will be in order for everything everyone has done for their lord today." And you're kind of trying to catch your breath, and you kind of drop to your knees. And then we cut to you kneeling before Jasper days later with your head bowed. The scars you have healed. Gained. You have new scars and new bruises, but they have healed over the next couple of days. What type of outfit would you put on Corliss Corbray to get knighted? Of the available things you have.
Does he have access to his father's armor?
I think he does have access to a few things of his father's. A full set of plate armor is one of them, as well as like mementos, maybe a nice outfit.
It is most likely too big for him at this time, but he would be wearing his father's armor.
Yeah, you bow your head. You walk up and then take your helmet off. Bow your head. Exhausted.
The armor in my brain is just pretty like standard plate mail, just with the crest of House Corbray on the front of it, which is of 3 crows carrying separate hearts.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. 3 black ravens in flight, holding 3 red hearts against a white background. And yeah, just one on each peck, and then one at kind of where your gut is large, and then maybe like small raven mementos, like maybe your pauldron is a raven's head with a beak, things like that. But definitely has seen multiple wars and is definitely weathered. Jasper walks up and he pulls out a blade to knight you. Has a little trouble getting it out at first, but it is a beautiful blade. He produces Lady Forlorn, which is the Valyrian steel sword that is supposed to belong to your house. Made of Valyrian steel, a third of the weight of regular steel, and incredibly sharp. Traditionally, when knighted by a Valyrian steel blade, it is customary, not even customary, it just occurs, of it slicing and hitting your skin a little bit, because of how sharp it is, because this blade gets put on both of your shoulders. But it is in his hands. It has a gold crossguard and a ruby pommel, but otherwise looks like a pretty traditional blade, except for the blade, which is Valyrian steel and is just beautiful and shining.
Isn't it like Damascus kind of looking?
Yeah, with like wavy. Yes. You hear
infused with the magic of old Valyria. Sorry, go ahead.
No, correct. Yeah. No one knows how to make Valyrian steel blades anymore. Yeah. That's by the time of Aegot, 3 people know how to make them, but one of them is an Essos. That is who someone calls in to do it. Don't know. But yeah, it is a waning knowledge, and no more Valyrian steel can be made because you need dragon flame to make it. But simply a incredibly hot flame can make it into different materials. And if we were curious when the last dragon died out, that would have been around, not even around. The last dragon died in the regency of King Aegon III, and that would have been approximately, King Aegon III was crowned after the Dance of the Dragons, and that was 82 years ago. Now, in the last 80 years, the Targaryens still held their name, have had incredible warriors like Baelor and Maekar, but definitely not the power that they once held. You hear in your right ear, in the name of the warrior, I charge you to be brave. And then the blade nicks you slightly and pierces through the armor, but you can probably get that fixed, is the first thought you have immediately. And then onto your right, slicing that one gently too. In the name of the Father, I charge you to be just. You look up and Baelish is standing there with an incredibly proud face. You've known Baelish all your life. in all your life, he's told you stories of your father, Creighton Corbray, who died in the last Blackfire Rebellion when you were only 2 years old.
Baelish is probably the only one who would notice this, but Corlys has kind of like an almost angry look to his face as this is happening. Most likely due to the fact that he's being knighted with the sword that should already belong to him.
Yes.
But he's putting on a show for everybody else,
Keeping
trying
a
to
stern face, just brewing resentment behind your eyes.
Yeah.
In the name of the mother, and then you flash to the lack of memories you have of your mother who died giving birth to you. I charge you to defend the young and innocent. And when they say young and innocent, you look at your younger cousin who you've tried not to be resentful for your entire life. Your mother was a Templeton, and your cousin Harold Templeton has gotten the life you wish you have in a lot of aspects. He has a large family. His house chose the correct winning side during the last Blackfire Rebellion. Your father, Creighton, chose the rebels and lost. In the name of the mother, I charge you to defend the young and the innocent. In the name of the maid, I charge you to protect all women. And he goes on, he mentions the stranger, the crone, the other aspects. And then, if we see you kneeling and the blade is on your shoulders, we also then see you in the crowd watching yourself. 2 years older, a little harder, a little taller, a little more of a sunken face, and cutting back. Lady Forlorn is now on your cousin Harold's shoulders. It seems like when once being knighted, you know you were knighted for saving the life of the Lord in the air. Now it seems like being a knighthood is just an act that is given out to appease people during this cold winter, which has gone twice as long as it did last time, 4 years. You're 18 now. Your cousin's getting knighted. You like your cousin, but he hasn't done shit compared to you. And he is being knighted with Lady Forlorn. You did not get that blade 2 years ago. And just watching him getting knighted by Jasper.
At the mention of the mother, not for anything specific, just timing wise, at the mention of the mother, he is going to storm out of the room.
Yeah. The mother, and you leave. And you see Baelish turns his head and kind of moves, but then just looks back. You know you have a training dummy in your room that is just wooden and it's held up for a long time. You can slam into it all you want. And you have your short sword on your hip and you kind of get growing resentment.
I will do a attack with my short sword onto the dummy. Does a natural 20 hit?
Yeah, you're slamming the shit out of this dummy. You kick it, just rattling it. And after you get coated in sweat and anger, you hear the door to your tiny, unassuming chambers open, and Baelish pokes his head in, enters. He goes like, "You should have stayed for the rest of that ceremony, boy."
The only thing that should have stayed is our principles. They give it out like nothing. It's like candy.
You wish to tell the Lord of the Vale who and who he may not knight?
I wish to tell him who he can and can't knight with my sword. And he's gonna slam into the dummy again.
Yeah, you've had this dummy since you were 13. You first start swinging sword. You destroy it. Your sword gets your short sword gets lodged in the wood and kind of you drop it. Baelish comes up and he goes, "Jasper can get you a new training dummy." I don't disagree. I've not been in Westeros my entire life, but these blades are ancestral blades. They belong to the ancestors of a house. And they are not in possession of the ancestor of the house currently. I cannot tell you anything beyond that.
I just find it interesting. He finds owning that sword to be more pertinent than rewarding the man who saved his son.
Additionally, the ages of the children of House Aaron I said earlier should have been 2 younger. So it was a 15-year-old and a 14 and a 9-year-old. Now they are 2 years older, and currently his heir is 17, John Aaron. Baelish nods and goes, correct. House Aaron does not have a Valyrian steel blade. I wouldn't think he would keep that as long as he would, but additionally, you are not an incredibly calm and composed young man, and that blade can cut like a blade through cheesecake. I don't.
I know, trying to find metaphors from this place I've never seen. I understand. Can you leave me?
I come with decent news if you wish to hear it, but I can come back later if you would like.
Just go ahead.
Well, now I feel grim saying that. Um, but this is a good thing. I do not wish to come across as a schemer, but there's still no word of the fools Jasper sent north. This would be the second expedition to not return since the winter has started. He has confided in me that he plans to send one final group. This is meant to be a larger expedition than any of the previous ones, and it's a possibility newly made knights could go as well. It has been men-at-arms and foot soldiers recently, and commoners. I believe Sir Xander Egan is meant to lead the patrol. And you have a connection there, of course. You squired under him, and he is fond of you for the most part. This could be the opportunity that we have been waiting for. Not just for the blade, for the lands and Heart's home, and for you to remember your words again.
I will go to uphold my duty as a knight. I do not believe that it will lead to anything, but I have a duty.
It could. So much. 50 men, maybe more, have died from these last two expeditions. They could be alive, but I doubt they are camping in blizzards and camping in simply not going to a house. We don't know what's out there. But I'm a charismatic individual. You're a great warrior. It could stand the reason. And he looks to make sure the door's closed. This is a great opportunity for us. And whoever leaves the Vale in charge of the expedition might not be who arrives in Winterfell in charge of the expedition. We have to go through much land to make it there. That would be, if we follow the trajectory that the last expeditions that we would leave through the Vale, we'd go through House Belmore's land, the Strong Song. We could use the nearby river that flows east through the valley to Heart's home, but all the rivers are frozen over, of course. Then we go through the neck of House Reed, and we have to go through Moat Caitlin, an abandoned. It's a lot of trekking and a lot of abandoned territory, but I assume the errors of our forefathers were attempting to go to Winterfell directly. I think we should meet with these houses. House Reed would be the first house we run into. The Cranogmen, swamp dwellers. They're supposed to be honorable people, if a bit queer. They are good friends to the Starks as well. And additionally, the leaders of the past expeditions, I would not call them men of honor. I have a feeling that this expedition could be a lot more fruitful than the previous ones. We meet with Lord Reed, then Lord Dustin, then Lord Kerwin, instead of going right to Lord Stark.
I do not wish to continue arguing with you because I will be going on this expedition either way, but do you not find it suspicious that every person he's sent has been an unfavorable sort? Doesn't it feel to you like a calling?
If you were in his position, would you send your most esteemed knights first? Possibly. And that would make you a man of honor. And we would be, and most likely, in even worse condition. When the winter winds blow, words become wind, would be something a northerner would say. Me and your father spent some time.
Are the Errands the Wardens of the West right now?
The Warden factions, we will find out. North, south, east. They should be the Wardens of the East, I think.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, the Warden of the East during A Song of Ice and Fire is John Aaron. So, in addition to being Lord Aaron, Lord of the Vale, he should probably be Lord Paramount of the Vale and a Warden of the East. Though all of those positions would be held by Jasper Aaron.
Cool. And hence why I'm not the Warden of the East. But I understand. Worst case scenario, I go on this journey. I meet some lords I've never met before. Maybe I can petition in the name of my family's name. But
the worst case would be we both die on the first day. But let's try to keep you.
I don't believe that to be a fate.
I agree.
That either of us will find. Anyway, do you know when we are to set off, or
do not mention this to anybody else? Technically, it is not known yet, but he should have a council on the morrow to summon warriors to go north. Warriors and knights, not lords and heralds this time, or any of that nonsense. Warriors that can bring his words to the feet of lords, so I can force him to listen. Additionally, I have found you a squire.
A squire?
Yes.
Isn't that usually the choice of a knight, or a knight of more renown?
Technically.
Another special exception for the landless lord. And he's gonna stumble around his room for a minute.
No, yeah. I like that. Landless lord. You okay? Oh, Lord have mercy. It is Orson Wainwood. He is 4'10". He is a bright and eager lad, and he is the kindest Wainwood I've ever met. If we were to mend relationships between those who currently hoard your lands, I would think having a squire of their house would be a good step to take.
You want me to squire a boy who will have everything I want?
Ellis did not choose to take your lands.
There is no choice that I made either. That has no part in this.
The choice was your father's, and he made the wrong one. But you can make the right ones now. You just have to take the boy and let him help you with your armor and sharpen your blades and all that.
In the name of the mother. Fine. Can you tell Jasper to get me another training duppy?
Yes, quite. I want to stay in the Eyrie with my son and my lover and grow old, but I will not let you die in the same armor Creighton did. You will make it back from this voyage.
I think you know that's not a doubt in my mind, but I know how you feel about my stubbornness.
We will bring back food to save the Vale, and people will honor the names Corbray and Baelish. And if we do all that, and we return, and Jasper is impartial to you, then we can take more grievous measures. Because you have committed no crime or no sin.
Yeah. Let me begin packing.
Yes, boy. He pats you on your shoulder and you begin doing those things.
Before we continue, I just want to say that was like an amazing roleplay interaction. That was really good.
I want to flex real quick. Across the narrow sea, the climate is far more forgiving. The winds bring us south to King's Landing, where the snow is just as persistent as the north, but not as aggressive in its coming down. The darks are, for the most part, heavily abandoned. Can you make a perception check with a +1, please?
6.
6. So, you...
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I need your roll first, brother.
I already rolled it.
You said it was the wrong one?
Yeah. No, I used the right dice. I was using the wrong
okay.
set of dice. Doesn't actually matter.
So, Sir Donald of Duskendale is making his way through the southern ramparts of King's Landing, looking over his shoulder around. You, Sir Donald, you don't seem to find what you're looking for as you look in, are not able to locate it. Your King's Guard armor, pale white, beautiful, no color besides white, slightly grayed and brown from the melted snow, probably.
It's oxidization.
Yeah. You turn and approaching is a tall figure, 6'11". You know him to be Sir Duncan, a fellow brother of your King's Guard, wearing the largest set of armor you've ever seen made for a man. He's standing there, and he gently takes off his helmet.
Sir Duncan?
Donald, I know this is not exactly where you would wish to meet, but I felt it pertinent we talk.
And I heeded your call. What can I do?
Hey, King Aegon has felt it that there are vipers in his court, and I require your assistance, Donald, in festering them out. He seems extremely nervous, and he looks around and goes,
Can I roll an insight check to see if this is nervousness for his own safety or for Egg?
Yes.
And then you'll tell me what. Oh, not that one. This one. It matters. Trust. You got a 8. It does matter. 19. Is that plus anything or minus anything?
+1 probably for unnatural 20. Another thing to factor in is you are an older individual now. You're closer to 50 than 40. Your red hair has grayed heavily.
This is not one of the characters I made, by the way. Just so we're all on.
This is a character George R.R. Martin made in 1999. He looks around and he doesn't seem to be nervous for himself or for Egg. Do you know of anything of that sort, of people who might be skimping and harming the image of our king?
I'm gonna roll a history check on that. +1 again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a 6.
6. It's not very difficult because you know that you are one of those individuals. You have been helping Gerald Lannister, the current master of coin, get some of his shipments of coin out through not the correct avenues and hiding how much is going out.
I don't know. I didn't know anything like that was happening.
Can you please make a deception check with a -2?
16.
16?
Is there any leads that you have? Is there anywhere I can start looking? I want to help in any way I can.
I'm sorry, Sir Donald. This is not the end befitting of a knight of the Kingsguard, but you have left none of us. He slams his helmet down, and you go to swing at him, and he like quickly raises his sword, but you're able to knock him to the ground. Please just roll a single check to see how you do during this combat.
I'm gonna point this upwards. I got plus strength.
Plus 3 to your strength.
That's gonna be a 17.
With the Duncan stat block I made, he got a 28. He rolled really good. You go and slam down your sword repeatedly as he withstands, but one swing goes wide, and he hits it where you kind of get bow-legged, and he just picks you up and slams you into the ground, and grabs his heavy sword, and you try to withhold it as it slides through your fingers and slices up your hands, and he's able to pierce your plate and then pierce the concrete below as he nervously slams his fist down to the sound of it going through stone, and he falls to the side, and he unbuckles his helmet. Dunk is 16 or 17 and 209. So right now, Sir Duncan, the tall member
like
of the
38.
That would be that plus that plus that plus that plus that. 43 around.
Oh, I was so close.
He takes off his helmet and pukes his very light colored puke through the little OT has been eating. He's scattering, and he sits there shaking and crying almost. Outside of King's Landing, across the narrow sea, as we go more and more, Westeros' capital city, then to her docks. The docks of the Blackwater Bay are sparse and empty because most of the water is frozen. Frozen and just inoperable for boats to enter. Farther and farther and farther, the climate raises and warms, and we get to an actual part of Westeros that is not stuck in torment and folly and a place of decent leisure. The capital city of Lys. Lys is Lys. It is a small city-state that clings to rocks surrounded by stormy seas. It is full of the Lysini people, who are the largest group of people in the modern world to tie their roots to ancient Valyria. The city lies off the coast of the Disputed Lands to the southeast of Tyrosh and the west of Volantis. We come to a pleasure house that is full of people. They are dressed, or rather not dressed, in response to the much more forgiving climate of Essos, where it is warm and nice and sunny. A man sits in the corner drinking, his eyes ragged and red, his long pale hair in his cups. Nearby, an argument grows and grows, and one man picks up a goblet and throws it at this woman, who evidently did not give a satisfactory performance or wanted more money or something of that nature, and it slams against the wall, and that kind of startles the man and wakes him up. You see quick flashes of a man with long pale hair throwing a goblet at a woman who shrinks away from it as he berates her, and you are watching young from a closet or something like that. Back to you now. What does this person who is sitting in the corner watching this man attack this woman look like?
He is... I did not put his height on here. He is around like 5'9"-ish. He's not super tall, not super short either. Pretty average. He has pale to white hair. Very Targaryen kind of looking. And he is pretty skinny. He clearly does not either know how to fight or has not fought in any shape or form. He seems to be more of like an intellectual, if you had to put him somewhere. Mm-hmm. But being in Lys, you can assume not. Otherwise, he is Valyrian Lyseni ethnicity, half. I don't know what to call that. Mixed lineage?
Mixed ethnicity, yeah. Mixed ethnicity. You took the Valyrian and the Lyseni ethnicity and took parts of both, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, that's about it. Mm. He can speak Common, Tongue, and Lyseni.
The fight grows as the man who is portly and has his beard chained with bells grabs the woman by the arm, and starts berating her. And you look around and it is drawing quite a crowd.
Um,
Attempt to persuade.
Tag is going to walk over and pick up what was he that he threw? Was it a goblet?
Goblet, yeah.
He is going to pick up the goblet from the floor and stand up on a table in a central area of the fight and click a spoon to the goblet.
Tink, 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 tink. The guy's berating and he hears that tinking and just slowly looks up at you.
And then Tag, in kind of like a performance-y manner, is going to wave the goblet in the air and go, "Somebody has emptied my cup. I need it filled again. Could I please have someone fill my cup?" Just clearly trying to make a scene.
Make a performance check.
Do you think that's cocked?
I do not believe so.
Cool. Performance, I do not have proficiency. That's just going to be a +8, 26.
26, yeah. That guy's staring at you, and by the time he looks back, the woman's gone. And he goes, "Bark!" Follows off to whatever place she went, but you see that as he leaves, she like emerges from behind, and people start laughing kind of at your performance. And a woman wearing no clothes at all comes up with a bottle and fills your goblet and like bows.
And then he is just going to yell, "Now that's service!" And he is going to walk the goblet over to the woman that was being...
You hand it to her. She goes, "Thank you."
Have we been speaking common this whole time? Or are we
probably
speaking
Lycini.
Lycini.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She goes, "Thank you, sir." She doesn't say sir because sir is specifically related to knighthood, but can't be my lord and it can't be sir. Mister. Thank you very much.
It's no problem.
Just an unruly customer. Thank you.
It's no issue. If you need anything, I'm around.
Yes.
Tag. It doesn't even matter. Mary Magdalene.
Varia is what she calls herself. Varia.
Tag is just Jesus. That'd be so stupid.
So, you sit there for a couple more hours. Are you pickpocketing any of these people or trying to convince them to give you some coin or anything of that nature?
I don't think he wouldn't be pocketing in the establishment. If he left, probably, or maybe, but not in the establishment. In here, he is just going to be playing some basic like card games, trying to not scam money out of people, but
earn money.
Yeah.
Can I get another performance check from you?
Jesus Christ. I got another 26.
Yeah. So you play a lot of games of the primary game, which is Kvass, which is kind of a chess type game using small circular beads. You earn a lot of coin that way. Yes. A board game which changes from game to game. That's way too complicated. But there's like a dragon and a catapult and a trebuchet are some of the units. You're pretty good at it. Your mother used to play it with you, and you're able to earn coin that way. You earn 10 gold dragons.
Do you want me to change GP to GD?
You can. Currently, I'll just say you get 10 gold pieces. Next time we play, that whole currency should be fixed with silver stags and copper pennies and things like that. 10 gold.
Just change that right now because we can just make the exchange rate match up.
I think the exchange rate does actually max up pretty decently. Like I think it is equivalency, but we'll figure that out.
I'll just change that right now.
Whichever.
Silver stags.
Silver stags. Oh, I don't know if it would be a stag. No, it would be a stag because it's a stag because Aegon the Conqueror. The first Baratheon was Aegon the Conqueror's bastard brother, Orys, I think, who he had a lot of love for. So it has always been a silver stag.
And then what's the copper equivalent?
I believe a copper 7. It's supposed to be the faith of the 7, so it might be a copper faith. Copper piece. ASOIAF. I love ASOIAF.
Sorry, he finished this week, so
we came up with the idea to do this one shot or first episode this week when I've had this idea for like years, but it's always been half done. So yeah, not everything. Peas, copper, we will get back to this. I will continue it, so I'll be ready in a second.
I'm gonna have Copper Faith currently. CF.
Yes. A copper star is what they're called.
Copper Star.
Yes. The silver stag, the gold dragon, and the copper stars. And then like there's also like a moon silver and a stag silver, which are like different half amounts. And on copper, there's a half penny, a groat, a half groat. There is a more complicated stuff. But for the time being, golden dragon, silver stag, and copper star are the we'll use. Because there's no need for things to be complicated. I think he tried to like look up the actual exchange rate of real life and combine everything from like Greece to Europe. Don't do that, George.
Drachma.
Yeah, all that complicated shit. But yeah, that goes on. You look around, and as this goes on, you make some coin. You're looking around. Two men in like golden, gilded, fancy-looking armor come in and start like talking to people, and you hear multiple languages on their tongue. You hear Lysini, you hear Dothraki, and then you hear this is surprising to you. You hear some common tongue on their notes, which you know from your mother, who was quite knowledgeable of different languages. You hear them asking questions in common.
Is the bar or parlor that I'm in? Is this where I am staying? Is there a room upstairs?
Lisa is known for its expansive pleasure houses, so I think yes, you do stay here and eat here and bathe here. This is not a pleasure house. This is a giant house with a pleasure area, and like a couple of the workers stay here. I would say you probably are able to stay here with your kin because you bring in people that gamble, or you bring in people. You make people want to stay longer.
I entertain in some way, yeah.
So you do live here, yeah.
Okay, I am going to attempt to sneak off upstairs and go to my room.
Yeah. I'll make a stealth check then. Just a low-key stealth check.
Dude, my stats are so messed up.
So my system has no limit on the bonuses you can take. So if someone wants to put everything into one stat, they can do that.
Actually, I'm not going to say that because if he just... Yeah.
But okay. You can say whatever you want to do about your fucked up character build.
It's going to be at 12 for that stealth check.
12. You walk off and you go and you slam into the front. You are looking behind you. You're normally pretty good at stealth, but that's just kind of how you rattled hearing that language of a Dothraki. You are aware of the Dothraki. This guy has a couple lengths of hair and like just large, sweaty, darker skin than normal, and like a mostly shaved head. And he just is like staring down at you and blocking the exit.
I'm going to... Sorry, give me 1 second.
The two men seem to have noticed you and are approaching.
Oh, I never added that.
Oh, while you do that, do you want to... Are you sure everything didn't get added?
Silver-tongued. I did not add a skill for that. But the only one I can add is performance, so I'll just do that right now.
Okay.
Because I already have the other.
Silver-tongued being a ethnic trait of the Lysini. Proficiency in persuasion, for performance, deception, that type of thing. Pick one of them.
It does not affect this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to start just speaking common at him and just like pointing upstairs repeatedly. I'm not actually like saying
him. Like,
yeah, not actually saying anything.
In least, I'll say make a performance check. In least you will hear a ton of melting pot languages. Yeah. And yeah, you know a Dothraki would probably not be able to speak common tongue.
And you said performance?
Yes.
So this is going to be a plus 10. 15.
You do that, and the Dothraki kind of pulls to let you out, but then you feel like a grab on your cloak. He goes, this person has like a Spartan helmet, but instead of feathers, he has like a golden spike coming at the top. And he takes his helmet off, and he goes, I'm not so bad at different languages.
No,
he speaks a language you don't understand. And then he speaks what Dothraki, what the other guy just said. And then he says in common, we would like to speak with you for just a moment.
Gosh damn. I really need to go to the bathroom.
If you'd like us to accompany you, we can.
You
Here,
don't
sit,
have
boy.
to hold it for me.
He comes and kind of, the Dothraki forcefully sits you on like a bench outside. We're just looking for someone.
He kind of like pushes against the hand on his shoulder.
The Dothraki just
Doesn't move at all.
He goes, listen, we are representatives of the Golden Company. We're looking for someone. I know this may be difficult, but have you seen someone with... Are you aware of the Targaryens? House Targaryen of Westeros.
Westeros? No, I can't say that.
You-
Targaryen?
Are you making a deception check,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
That's going to be a 27.
He looks at you and he's like, just a couple years ago, a man named, and I know this is going to be difficult, son, a man named Aerion Targaryen was here for some time. Are you aware of any children he may have left?
No. I'm going to automatically fail a deception check.
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Like, he's annoyed that he has to think about this person.
Yes. He turns to the other man and goes, go tell them. And he nods a younger man and walks off. He goes, listen, your father, we represent a man named Aegor, who is kin to your father. We would be willing to provide you with a home for those of you and those who need it, train you in sword artistry. What are your feelings on your father?
I barely remember him.
Um,
As you can see, I'm a grown man now. I have
Yes.
a life. I live in lease.
He turned down advances from our captain general. What do you want out of life? If you have kin, we could house them. If you want to gain in power, we can provide you with that. Our leader, and he turns to the Dothraki, and he's like, fuck, our leader is kin to you. I couldn't tell you how. I think it's distant. Aegor is a fair ruler, and you hear the sound of skin being pierced by a blade. You turn, and the Dothraki has a longsword emerging from his gut.
The guy that was holding me down.
Yeah, it gets ripped out, and the Dothraki falls again as two giant holes are in him in blood. And the guy goes, what the and the figure, long cloak, who killed the Dothraki, kicks the Spartan-looking individual of the Golden Company to the floor. He slams him down, and he gets above him and slams his pommel down and grabs you and goes, move! And forcibly drags you.
I'm gonna begin trying to hit him. It doesn't. I'm gonna just fail those attacks.
Okay,
it's more just trying to get his hands off me than
Yeah.
trying to do damage.
He holds his sword upside down one hand and like grabs you by your chest. And after you guys get a while away, he slams you to the wall and he goes, look, where's your sister at? You see he is an older, probably middle 50s man with deep, heavy-set scars. His hair has turned gray and his skin is very sunburnt and tanned. And he seems tired and covered in sweat.
Who the fuck are you?
My name is Ulrich. We need to get you and I apologize. Amalia, yes. We need to get you and Amalia out of here now. Or your heads will be on pikes before the day is over.
Let me
Where's
run
your
upstairs.
Okay. He lets you go and he kind of quickly falls behind you so you can't get like away from him.
I go straight to the room that she's in.
Yeah.
And I just barge into the room and I begin pulling clothes out of whatever dresser that we have or anywhere that we put clothes. I grab her clothes specifically and start pulling them out as quick as I can.
Putting them in bags that you've probably prepared in case you need to leave here quickly. Amalia, who is only 10, is sitting and like copying script from something. She goes, what's going on? And
We're leaving.
Ulrich enters and she goes, who, what?
We're leaving now. Don't ask any questions.
She grabs her things and starts like shoving them in bags. Okay. Ulrich,
It's gonna be fine.
Ulrich Putsch goes, I don't know if he had said that. He goes, listen, I'm Ulrich. I can understand if you have had people who have not trusted you, but I swear to you. And he like closes the door and puts a chair in front of it, and then pulls out his sword, and he kneels and lifts the sword. I swear my life to yours. I promise to honor you and ward you. And you are, do you want to make a history check to see if this is a custom you are unaware of?
Yes. I do not have proficiency in
So this would
history.
be intellect.
So it's +0. 7.
7. You can tell that's what it is, but you're unaware of the custom.
Do I get your sword now?
No. You see, he does like jerk the sword back. Listen,
I couldn't use it anyway.
I came here with Arian years ago. I was sent here to guard him, but I was excommunicated from the knightly faction sent to protect him because I wanted him dead. He was, I'm sorry to say, but your father was a monster. But I wanted to kill him, but I could not. It would be kinslaying. I am his uncle. And to you, I am your great uncle, then grunkle. That is the term.
Grunkle Stan.
Right until you read A Feast for Crows and come across Nuncle. The Golden Company is ran by Aegor Rivers. He would know who Aegor Rivers, the correct connection to you is. The Golden Company is ran by a man called Aegor Rivers. He is a, where the fuck? Sorry. Aegon IV had so many bastards that there's a separate family tree for his bastards. Well, he would have been half-brother to King Daeron, who is king in the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, and the current king is Aeg, who's his grandson. So he would be your great-grand-uncle, Aegor Rivers. And he's only, 50? These people would be fucking. Okay.
Too much.
Yes. He is an evil man who is dead set on destroying Westeros. If he gets his hands on you and he cannot turn you, which he would not be able to, he would kill you. So we need to get you and your sister to Westeros.
To do what? Live in squalor? Worse than I live now?
I come from a noble house. We can protect you. We need to expose Arian for all that he has done. Your father, the man who I know you know berated your mother and hurt her, is living uncontested right now. I know you don't want that. He's living his last days out. Last I heard, he had a wife. Every minute he lives is a dishonor to your mother and her mother. And Amalia has like her things bundled and she's just looking at Ulrich.
The only dishonor to my mother that is currently happening is how scared you are making my little sister. Lower your voice.
He can't even make eye contact with Amalia. He goes, I don't want to hurt you or your sister. I want you to feel safe, and the safest way is to get out of Lys as fast as possible. I have a ship at the docks.
Fine. I swear to God, if you're lying to me, I will ruin you.
Okay. And there's a pounding at the door, and he grabs you and shoves you behind him almost aggressively. And he slowly pulls out his long sword, which is long and light and made out of a type of metal you've never seen before. Gently puts it to the door and slams it through the door, rips it out, blood's leaking, and he rips the door open. And then there was what looks to be a commoner. He doesn't look like he is a member of the Golden Company, but you also don't recognize him. He goes, come on! And he leads the three of you rushing. Can you make an agility check, please?
That is a 17.
Yeah, you guys rush pretty expertly, quickly. You actually stop him and tell him an easier way to climb down and kind of take a big drop. You drop down and catch Amalia, like I'm sure you've done before. And Ulrich slams down, his knees cracking. I'm fine, go. You guys rush. You make it to the docks where a small just sailing ship is there. And you're in front of him, but he rushes and uses all his might to get ahead of you and jump onto the ship and uses his sword to make sure it's empty. And he goes, good, good, good. And you hear a shouting, hey! And he goes, exits. He goes back out to the docks where a small group of 5 or 6 men in golden armor stand there.
Am I on the ship right now? And they're on the dock standing.
Yes.
I am going to quickly look around the ship to see if I can find a bow of any kind.
Make an investigation check.
That's not good. 13.
You do find a bow and some arrows. He seems like it seems like this has been heavily outfitted with weaponry that is kind of decently hidden. You find a bow that is made of golden wood and like extremely tensile, and you slowly start to like load it. Or it goes, "You have it wrong, folks. We have no issue with the Golden Company. Leave us be." And the men start to slowly approach as he holds onto his blade. And one in front goes, "I'm afraid I cannot do that. You want to take him to Westeros? No? Bittersteel wants him right where he is." And Auric barks, "I could give two shits what that bastard wants." And the leadman kind of pulls out a blade, slowly goes, "Bastard? That's funny, is he not?" And he looks back at you, and he like sees you crouched with the bow. He goes, "We're all bastards, brother. Just leave us the boy. He belongs with his family." And Auric goes, "I'm taking him to his family."
The boat. How many ropes does it have connecting to the dock?
Only the one. Do whatever you need to do, brother.
Tag is going to turn from aiming his bow at the men in golden armor and aim it at the rope holding the boat to the dock, and he's going to let loose the arrow.
Are you trying to do it quietly at all?
No, I'm just doing it.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Do I want me to roll for it?
No. As you're doing that, you hear them approaching Auric, and you hear Auric go, "He does belong with his family." And then the sound of blood smattering. You do that and start pushing. Oh, do you want to go back? Because there's a piece of wood that's connected to the dock. Do you want to come back and grab it so you can push the boat off?
Yeah.
You come and do that and see Auric is slicing and dicing. He shoves a guy into the boat and turns to come to you, and a large spear gets driven right through his gut. He twists and slices the wood and then slices up at the face and kind of stumbles. And you shove off, and he jumps and slams into it. They start pulling crossbows out. Make a agility check to dodge crossbow fire, and I will make one for Ulfric and Amalia.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Okay. You and Ulfric get hit. You take 4 points of damage. Yeah. So you instinctually can't help but try to help him because he's on the ground bleeding, and you get hit and just slam into the ground. And as he goes, "No!" one hits him in the back too. How badly hurt are you?
Half.
You sit there with one on your shoulder, and he goes, "Girl, honey, go. There's healing bandages there." What the fuck am I saying? There's supplies there. And she goes and grabs things and like pulls the arrow out after breaking it and puts a tincture. And she goes,
I think gauze.
Gauze, yeah.
I think gauze exists.
A type of a cloth that can absorb blood, especially good, definitely exists. And there's like small
probably lichen.
Yeah, there's small things that she shoves in your arm muscle. She goes, "There's only enough for one." And he goes, "Don't waste anything on me," and looks down at the giant spear that's in him. And you, just with the blood in the groaning of playing, you get quick visions and flashbacks and anguish of your mother passing in childbirth and giving birth to your sister. And you focus and rid them of your mind. And Ulrich sits there, and he tosses the blade at you, this large greatsword.
I'm sorry.
This is what I wanted. Not this, but not that either. And Amalia is like holding you, kind of caressing your head. You get that blade to Egg. You get that blade to the king and tell him it's of House Dane. He'll trust you. Get him to the king.
I'm not gonna make a joke. I kept almost making a joke. The king is an egg? It's so
What?
stupid. Humpty Dumpty. Okay. Lock in.
The first guard that questions you, tell him your eggs can or Aegon.
What if they don't believe me?
They will. There's not many Lycini-looking people in Westeros. And the sword will help. Tell him it's dawn. God. Take on, listen. And nephew, you need to get there and expose Aerion for what he is. Get to the king before you get to your father. And tell him that blade is Auric Dane's. He'll trust you and he'll keep you safe, and Amalia too. And he dies on the ship as Amalia just whimpers and covers her face.
Amalia, do you still have that paper you were writing on with you?
Yeah. She grabs her. She gets a fresh piece of parchment and grabs some charcoal. What do you want me?
Right, Dane.
Dane.
Sword Dawn.
And she just make sure, because you guys will be on this boat for the next handful of months. In fact, this probably predated the last 2 scenes we saw. And you guys do that, and you guys are on this boat for months.
Do we have to eat the dead body?
Do you want that to have to happen?
Not to have to happen.
Probably not. Auric has this filled with food and enough maps for you to be able to get to Westeros in case this happened, and weapons. This is a pretty nice outfitted. In fact, do you have any proficiency with armor as a schemer?
Not armor.
Okay. If you do gain it through leveling up or something, there is light armor that can raise your AC on here. Yeah. Back in the Vale of Erin. It is the next morrow. And Baelish knocks on your door.
Just to let you know, we're making really good time. We're currently at 1:40. 1 hour 40.
Fantastic.
Sorry, what did you say?
Baelish knocks at your door. Corliss.
How many days have it been since Lessing?
It is the next morrow. And you were told on the morrow would be when that meeting is held, where Jasper requests.
I'm in the middle of packing, so I walk over to the door, open it, don't even greet Baelish, and continue packing.
It's like, that's not a smart choice of action. What am I doing? He comes in and goes, Corliss, I could have been anyone. And he closes the door behind him. I could have been
I know how you knock.
Yeah. How has your mood been?
Fine. I'm leaving the castle. There's not much more I can hope for.
Yeah. Well, I'm ready. Orson, Harold has gotten Orson ready. He should be at the meeting, and that's where you should meet him first. And then if you have anybody you want to say goodbye to before the expedition, I'd get that out of the way.
Do you know where the Templeton boy is?
Harold, I think he's staying with his other cousin. Harold Templeton is your maternal cousin, your mother's brother's kid. His mother was an Egan, or an Egan, Egan, and he's staying with Sir Xander Egan currently, who you squired under. Yeah. Unfortunately, this will be a mission of nights. You'll have multiple people, I would assume to be. Harold's coming, as is Orson and other boys, not men. These knights need squires they're familiar with to operate, and we're running out of men. Your cousin is coming. He's already made a decision for himself, as is Dwayne Wood. I can't tell him no, and I can't tell his father no.
I know. If a single boy dies, we know whose fault it was, so there's no reason to stir on it.
Yeah.
We can just hope for safe passage.
Correct.
Let's go to the meeting.
And rubs his greasy hair back. You see he's extremely stressed at the prospect of whether it happens in 60 years or 6 months, an Aaron dying. That having to be the choice that a Baelish makes. You guys head to the meeting. Jasper is having kind of a last hurrah of the food they have. He has a decently sized plate, still only like half of what he would normally eat probably. People are handing out food. And you do see multiple people here who are feasting on the measly amount. Namely, Sir Xander Egan, who you squired under. He is known as the Bright Knight. He has fought in the last 2 Blackfire rebellions, and he is a good warrior. And then Unwin Upcliffe is more of a brawny individual, and he has some like girls hanging on his arm, but he's boasting and being happy. And those seem to be the 2 primary knights he has seated next to him. Yes.
I take a seat at the table, whichever is open enough for me and Baelish to sit side by side. And I begin just eating without greeting anybody at the table beforehand.
You guys eat and sit. As this is happening, Harold is sat across from you. He comes up and sits and eats with his father, Lord Templeton, who has always been kind of cold to you. He and his sister, your mother, weren't especially close. It's at least that's what you have picked up on, because he's never been warm to you. I tried opening your timeline, and I opened up LeBron passes his son a 3-pointer at the NBA's first father-son assist.
That's what just happened with Tag, except it's Grunkle. It's multi-generational assist.
Your mother, Anya Templeton, passed away giving birth to you, and that could have been possibly why. Yes.
Corliss is going to look up at Henry Templeton, who's sitting in front of him. Is it Henry?
Harold, but I did
Harold.
not have a name for the dad, Templeton, so if that could be Henry. I believe that name exists.
Sounds like it would.
It doesn't, but that's more than enough. Henry sounds, if it sounds like it is.
I look at Harold, and like in the middle of me chewing a drumstick, I like look up at him with the tops of my eyes and say, "You believe yourself ready?"
You're saying the Herald? He goes, yes, I'm ready for whatever my lord asks of me. I am a knight.
That was not what I was referring to.
What?
He has not killed anybody yet, just to make sure.
Correct.
You remember that night, right? You know which one I'm referring to, I assume.
Yes, cousin. And Henry is kind of chatting up with a woman and not really paying attention.
Are you ready to drain the life out of a man's eyes? Is that something you're prepared for?
I can do whatever Lord Jasper asks of me. Anything to help this winter seem not as difficult for those suffering through it. And he is thin and a string bean and like scrawny and...
By the way, we did not say this. Now that Corliss is 18, he has gained a large amount of muscle mass since he was 16. We can assume because he almost lost that fight against that guy, he resigned himself to become as strong as humanly possible.
And you don't have copious amounts of food or anything like that, so this is probably tired, constantly muscle. Just no one should look like you do in the setting you are. You're more strong than most of these 4 knights. They just have better gear and better swords and things like that.
I truly hope that's true. And then he's gonna stop talking to him and keep eating.
Henry finishes chatting and like turns back and is eating, and he's like, "Oh,
Henry?
nephew, Henry, yeah, the Henry Templeton, nephew. Um, have you heard that my son is ready to join any expedition that our Lord asks of us? I have a feeling that if he is brave enough and confident enough, Alice Aaron might be a good suitor for him." And he's very jovial, and he has like a thick beard that's blonde. And he goes, "Did you know her namesake, Jasper's aunt or his sister? Do you know she married a Targaryen? So maybe Alice could not marry a Targaryen, but she could marry a man of such noble renown." And he pats his son on the back, who like awkwardly nods.
He's a boy. He says, like, almost under his breath, can I have you do an insight?
Yeah,
Not an
yeah.
insight check, I guess.
No.
It would just be perception, because I'm not trying to hide it. It's just I said it quiet.
He like looks at you and he's like, "How old were you when you killed your first man? How old were you when you lay with a woman? It comes for us later or earlier, but I think my boy is ready." And that's really all that matters. And he like stabs his boiled meat and chews at it.
Whatever you will, my lord. He says, biting his tongue.
Yes. Make a perception check.
Good. I need to use these funds. That's going to be, you said perception?
Yes.
It's going to be a 9.
A 9. You look around. In addition to Sir Xander and Sir Unwin, Sir Lyman Linderly and Wyman Waxley are enter the room. You notice them. These are probably the 4 strongest knights within power who protect Lord Jasper. Make a. What'd you get on that perception check?
It was a 9.
Can you make a second perception check? More in on them as they kind of enter in the back.
Natural 20.
Okay, yeah, you see, they're both in their like 30s, and they performed expertly in the last one. They're always known as being thick of thieves. You like look out the corner of your eye, and Lyman kind of is holding Wyman's shoulder, Lyman and Wyman, and he kind of nods, and then he like gently rubs his cheek, and then grabs his shoulder again, and both of them come down, and as they come closer into the Torchlight, people exclaim, and they take their seats. Sir Robert Redford comes out, and people scream, or not scream. This is not there's not a lot of jovialness, but it is a sense of gathering at these incredible knights who have been summoned here.
Corliss is going to get some. Is it summer wine that would be served right now?
Yes, I would think so.
He is going to pour himself a glass of summer wine, or a cup of summer wine.
As you're drinking wine, a Baelish comes up and sits next to you. Evidently, he was doing something else before this.
I then grab another cup and pour one for him as well.
Thank you, son. The wine grapes of Westeros. I want to do a deep dive on it. Can't reach this page. It doesn't exist.
I guess it's just waiting now.
Yeah. Jasper will be done with his first plate in a second, I would imagine. I know he ran out of the
What do you
Dornish.
know of the... He, like, actively interrupts Baelish start on something.
He was about to talk about wine.
What do you know of the 2 knights that just walked in?
Wyman and Lyman?
Yes.
Houses Linderly and Waxley. Those are old houses, allied. Why?
I don't know.
I know they're as thick as thieves. They served in the last rebellion together. I think House Waxley. Let's figure that out. Which house would be more predisposed to let the other house foster at them?
You said Waxley?
Waxley and Linderly. Waxley is right below House Aaron. They have a gray sigil. Linderly does not appear in my piece. Oh, and you see the red fort right there.
Oh, Baratheon's also spelled different on this one.
Is it? Yeah, I think it's just a ton of text. If we would like to look at it. Actually, let me look at this to see how good it appears. We have a map of Westeros that we can consult. I see that House Waxley is right below them, and it is big. I'm just going to confirm that Lenderly is not bigger.
No, I see them right there.
Yeah, it's a
they're
snake
they're on the
sigil.
fingers. No, they're just black on here.
Oh, well, yeah, they also, yes. That is them. If you also notice, like, the one right next to House Corber's land has no text. That one has text with no sigil. It should be a ton of snakes. This is a very good map, though. It's not perfect. Yes, they are smaller. Remember, when more than once over the years, House Waxley has let House Lenderly stay in their keep. And before they made their trek to the Eyrie, I believe that is what happened when the winter started.
I see.
Rumors and observation and information are one of the deadliest weapons we can have. Did you notice anything?
No.
Okay. Back to this Dornish. And he grabs one of the lines. Jasper speaks up after a minute and he goes, I do regret to inform my people that the last expedition to the north did not yield incredible results.
In the midst of Jasper speaking, Corlys is going to pour himself another drink, it ringing through the hall.
Jasper kind of eyes that. But fear not, because I will have my best men in charge of this next expedition. And if it falters, it will be the final one, but it will not. Leading this expedition will be Sir Xander Egan, Sir Unwin Upcliffe, in addition to Lyman Lenderly and Wyman Waxley. These are 4 of the best knights of the realm, 4 leaders of the Knights of the Vale, and they will have lesser knights serving them, landed knights, household knights, and many a squire. A faction 50 strong will be sent out. And if the Starks do not take heed to our call for assistance, I will have my maester draft a letter to King Aegon V. I do not want that to happen, and I do not want those words spoken outside of this hall, besides anyone but me or my maester, but I will not hesitate. The North has caches. They have feed that can save us. They have a responsibility. The Falcon Knights and the Wolves of the North have been brothers for centuries. I will not let 4 years of winter change that. So he starts naming names of people that are going, and then after the feast, he goes up to each one of them, giving them some coin or ornaments. He comes up to you and he goes, Sir Corlys, could we speak in private for a moment?
Yes, my lord. Absolutely.
Yes. Come. He leads you to his chambers. You are a strong young man, and I know one day you will become a noble knight.
I assume that Corlys would be kneeling
Probably,
in this
yes.
conversation. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes. I
Yes.
wish to give you the proper motivation to make Lord Stark heed our call. And he...
The only motivation I need is my service of the Seven and you, my lord.
The Seven? The Seven. This would help, though, right? And he pulls up Lady Forlorn, where it was, like, hidden behind a bed. And he kind of, like, in a game show host way, is, like, waiting for you to be like, oh! Or, like, he wants to see you happy from this.
I am going to roll a wisdom check.
To keep your composure?
To keep my composure, but in the opposite way you're thinking.
Okay, yeah. Oh, not get rageful, perhaps? Yeah, he's using it as leverage in also an annoying-ass way.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll just use it. 10.
You do probably bristle, but he probably doesn't notice. He aims it at you so you can take it out of the sheath, and he goes, go on, boy. And this is the first time you've held Lady Forlorn in your hands. The weight of a dagger in your hands. Valyrian steel is a third of the weight. If you want to, Valyrian steel is a third of the weight of normal steel. It is light. It is flexible. You can tell how sharp it is. Because if you prove yourself in this metal, more items and lands and wards that belong to House Corbray could be restored. I know you did not pledge yourself to Daemon Blackfire, Aegor Rivers. That was Creighton's sin, and it was dealt with by King Magar, or King Aerys the First.
I will do whatever I can to be of service to my lord and my future lands.
I know, son. He pats your back. He helps you get it back in the sheath, and you have Lady Forlorn now, the ancestral Valyrian steel blade of House Corbray. He goes, I'm sure Baelish has some like to talk to you before you head off. Go meet the man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. And he's going to awkwardly begin shuffling off.
Yeah, you head off. You have it now, and you probably are a little drunk on the feeling of having it.
And actually drunk, because I've just had like
True.
3 cups of summer wine.
Very John at the start of Aegon Core. You come and you return to Baelish, and he has Orson with you, and you're drunk on this power as you see the youngest member of the house that was given your lands. And Orson immediately bows, drops to his knees. Sir, it will be an honor to serve you. He has small, thin, curly hair that's short and cropped and cut. That's dark, and he has bluish green eyes, and he has a little green cloak on. He is small for his age of 14, of Forenton. It will be my honor to serve you in this endeavor. Whatever you need, I can be your man. And he bows his head.
Stand up, boy.
He does so, and nervously.
Gather my bags.
Yes, sir. And Baelish points him to your quarters, and he rushes to go there. You got the steel, I see.
I do.
He hugs you tight and pats your back. Your steel plate clanging into each other.
We're closer.
Yes.
I don't know how to feel.
I know you probably wished it would happen years ago, but now you have that, and you got it without needing to spill a drop of your liege's blood. We are making the correct steps.
You're right. You're correct.
Yes.
We'll do this mission. He mentioned something about restoring my family's place.
Fantastic.
It was more of a mention. The sword was the main.
It could take years, and I'm sorry for that. But you will die Lord of Heartsholme.
If there's something that I have more of than anybody else, it's time.
Correct. I wouldn't be surprised if he hasn't already talked to John about it, to make sure John does it if he doesn't in his life, if it's cut short. I would be surprised if that is not the case.
I've always been closer with John than I was him anyways.
John's a good kid. A good boy. He will be a good man and a good lord. I hope I can live to see his reign. Not too fast, of course.
I apologize if I am of few words currently. I have a lot on my mind, as you may imagine. I may become too rough with the boy. If you could let me know if that occurs.
Of course.
I am trying to keep up appearances in this journey, and I would prefer not to be seen as a heartless bastard, even though that boy deserves everything.
I will do my best, my lord. And he says that and then looks around. We have spoken terms that should not be spoken. I will see you at the stables. And he pats you.
Thank you, Baelish.
He heads off to the stables. Do you head off to where Orson's collecting your things?
Yes. Did he leave the door open to my chambers?
Probably, yes. You rush in, you see he's like packing things and trying to have too many bags on him.
You know it's a winter, right, boy?
Yes, sir, yes. And he
In
goes to grab
winters, we close doors.
Of course. And he like awkwardly goes to reach around you and close the door. I have your belongings here. Is there anything specific you would like besides your armaments and your armor and the food you have?
I had pretty much everything packed. Anything that isn't near a bag or in a bag, leave it.
Yes, sir. He goes and he grabs everything. He has a big knapsack hanging off his front and off his back, and then he has 2 bags. To the stables, then?
Yes. Okay. Follow me.
And that happens. In the stables, do you think... Well, no, probably... This is probably the first time the horses... You notice the horses are skinny. This is probably the first time they've been fed enough to be rideable in recent memory. It's lucky you guys still have horses. In a couple more years, you might have...
Had to eat them.
Need to eat them. What is that? A line?
Then we definitely would have been feeding them.
Yeah, that's a weird thing, because it's like you don't want to waste any money. No, you eat the horses, and then you eat the cats, and then you eat the dogs, and then you eat the rats. Is kind of an old limerick for winters, or also sieges that last long, anything like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you wouldn't have had a horse. None of these knights would have had a horse unless they were members of the first or second expedition, and no members of the first or second expedition came back that you were aware of. So you kind of look. What does your horse that you pick out look like? Baelish is picking out a horse, as is Xander and Unwin. He said earlier 50 men, but you look around and this is closer to 25 or 30. It seems like the men at arms, which are just commoners that are soldiers, have been shunned, and this is a knightly expedition with squires to those knights mostly. That could be a good thing because less to feed, but also you have a feeling any of these men might try to take over the expedition. Currently, Xander, who you squired under, and is a little heartless but a good man at his core, is the leader.
That's probably why I'm on this expedition, so I can back him up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't know if Jasper made the appearance of choosing you, but you don't know if it was Jasper or Xander or Baelish convinced somebody or anything like that. Yeah, what's your horse look like?
I think really basic, but mostly black horse, diamond shape on like the forehead, and then each of its feet have a white poof of hair.
Not like that, yeah. Does it have a name?
Hold on.
A horse in the Night of the Seven Kingdoms is named Maester. If you wanted to do something of the world, or also Tyrek Lannister is a horse. I'll leave you to figure out what that means. Tyrek Lannister was last seen a horse on a horse. So there are theories. Let me. Sweetfoot, Stranger, named after the Stranger.
I just saw that one too.
Thunder, Chestnut. Yeah. What is Raven for a horse's name? Could be funny. Heart. Bird.
I feel like Corliss would have been hearing all the stories about Dunk and Egg throughout his entire childhood.
That makes sense.
So I think in connection with thunder and rain, lightning.
I like lightning.
It's basic, and it's also Woody's horse from Toy Story.
He was a Dondarian horse before he came to you.
No, his name's Bullseye.
Okay.
Sorry. Toy Story TTRPG coming up. Kind of go hard.
What toy would you play?
Oh my god. Dude, that's such a good question.
The Omnitrix.
Oh.
I can't talk. I just
let me answer this question. Let me think about it for a second.
Okay.
This is so important. I'm so sorry, guys.
Make sure you add lightning to your inventory.
I think I would be one of the lawnmowers that you push and it just like makes the balls go.
I love that. Yeah, or one of the dogs that you can carry on a chain and you go.
Absolutely.
Okay, so add lightning to
Yes, yeah, yes.
Oh.
What would you pick?
I don't fucking know. um. So, you guys mount up and ride
Completely
off.
threw you off.
Xander comes up to you and goes, "Hello, boy. Are you prepared for this expedition?"
Yes, yes, sir. As I've been ever since I was knighted. Do you
Well.
believe others are ready for this
He
expedition?
looks around at some of the boys here and he's like, a good thing is, and he kind of pats his shoulder, they won't take much feeding. I'm sure that was a factor in some of the knights my lord chose.
He is going to attempt to force out a laugh at that, even though he does not find it funny.
Allure check, maybe, or durability, whichever one you think fits more.
It definitely not durability.
No, because allure probably.
Durability
It is
makes
a
sense
form
if
of
it's
a
trying to hold in
It is
the
a
laugh.
form of a deception check.
Yeah. So I
He
just
wasn't
do allure.
necessarily even joking.
It's the kind of thing that people would go.
Yeah.
It makes sense for the character. Natural one.
Okay.
That's really funny.
Okay. You're gonna ride in the back. No. The current plan, and Baelish comes up and he tells Baelish too. Baelish will be my second. Baelish nods. It seems like while other people might be more accustomed to using treachery to get their opinion of themselves raised in other people's eyes, Baelish is a very honest and forthcoming man. We're gonna ride down past the Bloody Gate, down the high road. Robert Redfort is going to help us lead that section because we'll pass by Redfort. Then we'll go down to the River Road. We won't take the rivers, unfortunately, due to the temperature, and more people are listening now, but we can ride the King's Road all the way up to the neck, where we can meet the swamp folk. Then, we may have to draw our first blood there, or not, I am unsure. We'll pass by the Green Fork and go from there. And people
Yes, sir.
nod, knight up, and you guys ride out. As the gates are getting shoved out of the way, as you guys rides out, the cold air hits your face, and you keep your visor down. And can I get your first of many? It's a very good thing you chose durability. Your first endurance check.
This is going to be a +7. 17.
Yeah, you hunker down. You look back. Baelish is kind of gesturing for you to keep your eyes forward, and you ride. And the snow gets thicker and thicker until no one can see anything, and then thicker. And then as it gets less thicker, a man is walking, opening a door and slamming it behind him, taking off the pale white armor, keeping his head very low, despite the fact that a lot of the areas around the keep have been raised for him, especially keeping his head low still. Dunk. And he walks and he nods and waves his hand to one of the handmaidens who does a full formal bow, and he just waves his hand. And he opens a door, and there is a handful of people inside there. There is a... One second, I have to recall the hair color of this person. It is not a normal one. Pink-haired individual with darker skin who is playing with a babe who is about 3 years old, comforting him. And next to them is a young Valyrian man, probably around 5'9" or 5'10", in his early 30s. And Egg goes, "Dunk, you okay?" And kind of rises. And Kira of Tyrosh, widowed twice of his brothers, first of Alar and then Daeron, rises with the babe. And he goes, "Yes, we should talk. Your Grace." He has only been... Egg has only been king for 2 years. So he's always been respectful to Egg, but definitely a more different relationship between them in the past 2 years. He goes, yeah, we should leave. And Kira goes, don't worry, Aegon. I'll take Maegor. And she walks off with the babe. And Egg sits back down the bed and gestures, and Dunk sets the helmet down and sits in a chair across from him, which is too tiny for him. I went to confront Sir Donald. And Egg just listens. Yes, Duncan? And Egg, or Dunk, he's dead. Egg nods slowly. His crown is only a thin strip of gold. There are a handful of crowns that each monarch has worn, like one where's this crown example, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
all have their specific
let me say
stuff.
clearly, there are like 3 or 4 crowns, and monarchs wear one of them. Aegon the Fifth wears the crown of the Dragonbane, who is Aegon the Third, the Dragonbane, his namesake to prior, called that because he was the one when all the dragons died. It is only a simple gold circlet, and he is the only person to wear that past Aegon the Third of Dragonbane. It is the most unassuming crown you'll ever see in your life. A gold circlet. He takes it off and sets it on the bed. How? Duncan goes, he drew his blade at me when we met in Flea Bottom. I killed him. Aegon nods. Did he confess? And Duncan, I don't believe he said the words, but I confronted him and he drew a blade and died. And Egg nods. So we have a position open for the Kingsguard. And the Duncan nods. I suppose we do. He goes, I'll think on that. I might mention it at the next small council, but we have a different topic that is going to come up. Thank you, Duncan. I'm sorry you had to do that. That was more of a murder than a defense against my name. I'm sorry, Dunk. And he goes, I was only serving my grace. And keeps his head bowed. And Egg stands up, puts his crown back on, and then goes over to Duncan and hugs him. And they hold each other. And he goes, you should get some rest. I'll have Sir Robin, Sir Glendon in the small council chambers. I will be quite all right. And Duncan goes, yes, your grace. And Aegon walks off, wringing his hands together. And he makes his way to the council chambers, past his chambers. He passes by Sir Roland Crakehall, who is Lord Commander currently. He goes, Sir Roland, I am the last one to show up, am I not? And he laughs gently, and Sir Roland goes, yes, your grace, everyone is ready in the chambers. And he nods. He goes, thank you. Pats him on the shoulder and enters the small council chambers, where there is a large, sprawling table of Westeros. Every a wolf's head in the north is sat on Winterfell. Aegon looks and notices that somehow, we don't know, this scene is a couple of days after the previous scene or something like that, but a falcon of House Aaron has moved up out of the Vale. Evidently they have knowledge of that somehow. Aegon goes, beginning without me, and the person who just moved it, Lord Gerald. I said Girion earlier. It's not Girion, it is Gerald Lannister. Is moving it. Just attempting to get the boring business out of the way, your grace. Many apologies. I'll sit. Moves his cane. He has a bit of a bloated belly. Correct. Yes. That should be there, and it has moved slightly. Yeah, go on. Put a. What dice do you think is befitting? This is actually really good. Of each lord.
That'd be the 2 that we have right now.
Yes, he goes and sits. And the Maester, who is a early 60s, shaved head, portly individual. He has a thick, long beard. takes call. He goes, presenting Aegon the Fifth's small council. His Grace, Aegon, fifth of his name. Well, I gotta say it now.
Say the whole thing.
I gotta. Aegon, the fifth of his name, King of the Andals, the Rohanor, and the First Men, Lord of the Seven Kingdoms, Protector of the Realm. Fourth-born son of the late King Maekar Targaryen. Rest in peace to a real one.
Even though he was kind of iffy.
And the Targaryens, he is above everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Hand of the King, Sir Brian Blackwood. Sir Brian raises his hand. The Blackwoods have thick, long, black hair that's coarse and thick. He has a short, cropped beard. He has black and red on his sigil. Very similar looking to Aegon that way. Master of Coin, Lord Gerald Lannister. Gerald, 30s, 40s, a thin shaved beard, but a portly stomach, and he uses a cane. He belches every now and then. He has gastrointestinal issues. Lord Stevron Swan, Master of Laws. Lord Athan Valerian, Master of Ships. Prince Darrow Martell, Master of Whisperers, going past these all, and then Grandmaster Hubert. And in attendance are Sir Rob Rain, the Young Lion, and Sir Glendon Ball. Naming all these names are two Kingsguard in either side, indistinguishable. And additionally in attendance, Queen Betha Blackwood. And Betha is sitting on a chair that was brought in for her. The Queen does not hold a position on the small council, but a chair has been brought in for her, and she sits next to Egg. She comes in and hugs him and kisses on his cheek. In your head, you're like, this 9-year-old has a wife?
Yeah. What is this bald baby having a wife for?
Yes, he has long hair. Aegon
baby
looks to his wife's brother and goes, Lord Brian, Sir Brian, as my hand, begin. Brian goes, the realm is unsettled as of current, but not necessarily aflame. The matters persist that have persisted since the start of the winter. There have been whispers, as Darrow has told us, of not revolt. That is not the term I would use, Your Grace, but complaint that is visceral in many. Gerald Lancer goes, which makes prudence all the more essential. Appearances matter. Stability matters most of all, Your Grace. And Aegon cuts him off. Stability for whom, Lord Gerald? And Gerald goes, for the realm, Your Grace. The realm rests upon its great houses. If they feel secure, the rest follow. Darrow Motel, who is much more casual. He has his feet cropped up. He has a goblet of wine. In Dorne, we have learned that when the great houses feel too secure, the small folk begin sharpening their knives. Security is something one must want for all for it to be true and honest. A faint smile ghosts across Aegon's face. I did not ask for this crown, but I would not wear it as some ornament. What say of the treasury? And Gerald stands his back. It is more than servable, Your Grace. I am happy that House Lannister can provide the gold you may require for whatever endeavors you seek. The late king, your father, was not wasteful, though certain expenditures linger from the Blackfire troubles. Trade was steady, and it has gently decreased. Harvests were fair on those who still retain their crops of the winter. With care, we may strengthen our reserves and persist throughout this winter. Aegon nods. And I thank you for your gold, Lord Gerald, and any positions at court it may have obtained me. And Gerald nods, of course. Aegon V was chosen through a council. He was not the immediate heir because his elder brothers had kids. Maegor, Aerian's kid, is 2. So that, and then he had daughters. And then I think even there were eldest uncles above him. He was chosen, and Gerald had a hand in that. What of the relief for the Riverlands? Their frosted waters have made it difficult for them to fish and grow crops. And if a war does break out in any corner of the 7 kingdoms, the Riverlands will burn. Or frost, rather. Gerald says, relief is costly. If we begin such policies, others will expect the same, Your Grace. The Vale is not any more full of food than the Riverlands or any part of the Seven Kingdoms. And Sir Steveron, Master of Laws, go, incorrect. There are areas of the Seven Kingdoms that are prospering. Word of the North, as Darrow has told us, they have not descended as much as the rest of us. Gerald says, the treasury is not a bottomless purse. And Brian, Hand of the King, goes, nor is patience among the commoners. Steveron says, if your grace intends reforms, new laws regarding levies, rents, and labor, you will meet resistance. The lords guard their rights fiercely. Some would sooner test strength than to yield an inch. And Gerald nods, and as he goes to speak, Aegon goes, then you can let them test it. The Kingsguard shift slightly. Athan, Master of Ships, Your Grace, and distant cousin of House Valerion, so he shares some blood with Aegon. Your Grace, strength also lies at sea. Our ships have been frozen time and time again. The docks. If we were to gift coin to any endeavors, breaking up the ice could be the way to go, in my humble opinion. Aegon nods. Ships protect merchants, and merchants bring coin. Coin strengthen the realm. I can see the circle. But the commoners in King's Landing are no more eager to work, no matter the pay. They're freezing. And I doubt any ships are coming in the King's Landing soon. Hobart, the Maester, goes, if I may, Your Grace, timing will be everything. A new king who moves too swiftly risks appearing rash, too slowly, and he appears weak. Aegon nods. Yes. Gerald speaks up, and perception is everything. One could argue that perception of houses sworn to you has been unfavorable lately. And Aegon looks confused and goes, whatever do you mean? And Brian says, if Lord Gerald means to imply favoritism, he may speak plainly. And Gerald goes, I imply nothing. I merely note that blood ties can complicate governance. Could you imagine if, for example, two Lannisters were to sit on the small council, as you and your sister do? Not to imply that you have a seat, my lady. I do not mean no offense. And the queen just coolly replies, none taken. Perception is everything. That is all that I wish to say. And additionally, Lady Stark is a Blackwood, is she not? Your father, Bonifer, made good decisions with where he sent his children. And Sir Brian goes, yes, he did. That is why I am Hand of the King, and I speak with the king's voice. You should be careful with your words. And Aegon kind of throws his hand up, looks at his brother-in-law. No one speaks with the king's voice besides me. And they both quiet. My hand is appointed for his competence, not his sister. If any man here doubts Lord Brian's royalty to the crown, speak it now. And silence follows. Good. And he stands up. Aegon, I have seen what neglect breeds. Hedge knights selling swords to their rebels. Farmers fleeing lanes they can no longer afford to till. Lords blind the suffering beneath their own banners. And he turns to Stevron Swan, who is the Master of Laws. Draft me a review of tenant levies across the realm. Quietly. I want figures before any proclamations are heard. He goes, at once, Your Grace. And Aegon turns to Lord Valerian. Athan, increase patrols along the Gullet. I will not have any pirates questioning a new reign. They have a habit of making that issue. And Sir Stevron nods and goes, I'm sure we can find some knights to patrol, even during the winter. He turns to Gerald. Lord Gerald, find efficiencies without squeezing the small folk further. I want waste trimmed from my court before bread from mouths. And Lord Gerald pauses and goes, as you command, Lord Aegon. King Aegon. Many apologies. Aegon kind of sneers. Prince Darrow, keep your eyes open. If any lord speaks too fondly of past pretenders, I would hear of it. We cannot withstand another Blackfire rebellion. Not too soon after the last one. And Darrow nods. You shall, Your Grace. Unless anybody has anything they wish to speak of, please leave. And the men look around, nod, gather their things, and leave. As they're leaving, they open the door, and Gerald goes, 7 hills. And Dunk is standing there, and he goes, apologies. And Gerald canes past him. Dunk comes in and goes, Your Grace, there is something you should know. And the 2 Kingsguard turn, and Aegon goes, can this be said in front of other parties? And he goes, yes, looking at the other 2 Kingsguard and his wife and the Maester Hilbert. A ship sails into King's Landing. And he goes, a ship? No. And he turns to look over. He opens the wide doors that have been like double latched shut and cold air blows in. Maester Hilbert helps shield Betha. And sure enough, a ship comes in smashing into the ice down there. Make a strength check as you're attempting to steer the ship.
Let me do something real quick.
Let you do nothing. Make a strength check.
There we go.
Take your time.
You're gonna explode when you have to figure this out.
You
said a strength check?
Yes, you're steering the heavy rudder.
It's gonna be a 16.
16, yeah, you're able to, using your whole body as leverage, steer it comfortably enough. What do you think you did with Ulrich's body? It would stink.
It's been 2 months?
It's been a handful of months, yes.
It's in the bottom of the ocean.
I
I probably kept any jewelry he had on him, not to keep for myself, but to show that he was on the boat.
It seems like the only thing of note was his sword and just nice armor, but that you would have no use of.
Yeah,
and daggers and things like that.
I kept any personal belongings, but his body itself, which
a servant of the drowned god. You slam into harbor. You have bundles and bundles of cloaks on, looking around. And Amalia is extremely bundled up. She's like, now what do we do? You didn't say the docks would be like this. A wind whipping around. A ship from your slamming and the new wave of the waters from you breaking the ice feet. A ship slams over from a wave, takes out a piece of the docks of the Blackwater Bay.
I open up the hatch where they drop fish whenever they fish.
Hell yeah.
And I point for Amalia to get down there to shelter herself from the wind. And I say, I'm going to find us some help.
I'll be safe here.
For now, just get in, please.
She gets down and hunkers her body. Okay, come back.
I will be right back. And he slams it shut, and he is going to attempt to jump off of the ship and begin walking across the ice.
Make an agility check to make it to the docks.
That's cocked. It's a natural 20.
It is? Okay, yeah. You time it in lane and kind of skid behold yourself.
That's like 3. It's crazy.
And you rush off. You get to these large, heavy gates that are on the outside of the docks, and they're just closed and shut.
I start walking across the ocean. He is Jesus. Just start banging against the door.
Make a strength check.
Someone! Anyone! Oh my god, why does that one have to be cocked? It was gonna be an 18. My luck today. I got a cocked 18, and then I just got an 18. So it's gonna be, you said strength?
Yes.
That's 16.
Okay.
Let me, just so you can see. I feel like I'm cheating. It feels awful.
You slam on it with all your might. What seems like 10 minutes until the gates get shoved up and goes, "The fuck are you doing out here?" A man in golden armor, a gold cloak goes, "The hell are you doing on the street?" Wind whipping around.
Me and my sister, our boat crashed. Please help me get her.
You got her by boat?
Yes! And he's gonna point behind him towards the boat.
Come here! And he screams to 2 gold cloaks who have to rush over, and you guys make your way there.
Cool.
You rush over. Do you jump back in and help Amali out?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. One gentleman helps lift her, and then his heavy armor cracks under him, the dock under him, and he shoves Amali as he falls into the water, waving his hands, trying to grab at you.
I'm gonna try and grab his hand. Is it strength check?
Oh yeah. Or a strength, an athletics check or an acrobatics check for like agility.
That's an 8. That's not good. That's gonna be a 6.
You go to grab, and the Lord Commander of the Guard just grabs you and shoves you back. He's like, he's wearing plates. There's nothing we can do for him. Go! And that guy just drowns, goes deeper and deeper as you get inside. And he calls over a larger guard, and they slam the gate shut. Fuck are you doing, boy?
We sailed from Lys.
Lys?
Amalia, the paper.
She holds up the paper. Dane! What?
The sword! And he's gonna reach into his bag that he brought with him and pull. Well, it wouldn't be in the bag. It'd be probably slanted across his back.
How's Dane? They're in Dorn.
Just look at it. I need to speak to Egg.
What? And one of the older, larger men goes, That's the sword of the morning. And they look, and he grabs you by your like lapel. Where the fuck did you get this?
I need to speak to Egg.
Take them. And he just goes in, enters whatever fishing house has been commandeered by the gold cloaks to be right there, and he warms himself as this guard rushes with you. Make a endurance check to make it to the Red Keep.
Did I heal over my voyage, by the way?
Yes. All your stats and everything you spend in your health should be up.
Cool.
Now, typically, if we're doing back-to-back-to-back days, you have to eat a day of rations to regain health of 1d4 on a short rest, and you have to eat a day of rations to regain 1d6 on a long rest. You do not gain all your health back on a long rest. That don't matter here. But if we're in the woods or in like a long-form campaign, you need to eat to regain health. You can't, if you don't have any food, you don't regain health.
It's awful. Evil.
I didn't make these rules.
Yes, you did. Shut the. Okay. What was I doing again? I apologize.
I don't. Oh, endurance check.
Endurance.
Dumb.
19 plus 2.
Yeah, you rush, and you guys make it to the enter chambers of the Red Keep, and he's like, up the stairs. The 4th door on the right is a waiting room.
Fourth door on the right.
Go there. I'll get His Grace to the room.
People keep giving this stupid motherfucker vocal directions. 3rd door on the right.
Okay. Yeah, do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk up there, you open the door, and you go inside. There is a girl in there. A girl about 13 who is playing with a doll, and she's like, just playing with a doll. You guys enter, and she's like,
Egg?
What?
Are you Egg?
Are you my handmaiden? Come here, girl. And Amalia like approaches, and she's like, could you tell my uncle that this doll has gone quite unsatisfactory, and I would like to...
You two play together. He's gonna slam the door.
She goes,
and then he's gonna go to the next door on the right.
There's no one in there, and it seems like kind of a meeting room type deal.
I continue to the next door.
You just go. You're just opening and slamming doors until
how many doors to the right did he say? 4.
So you saw the meeting room just now, and you slammed it shut, and you're continuing. You hear heavy footsteps as guys, multiple approach in pristine white armor that you've never seen. One of them a hulking giant. And as they approach, you have your face all bundled up still, so they can't really see your Lysini features. And you have the blade still.
I look up at this huge man, and I say, "You must be Egg."
He looks at his grace. What do you want, sir?
I come with a message. Fuck, I've left her in the other room. He then sprints down the hall to get...
And Dunk rushes because you're going to a princess's chambers. They rush in, all these guards, and Amalia, in the few minutes she's sitting on the bed and playing, and the girl goes, so this one is Rhaenys.
This is so funny.
Yeah, this one's Vicinia. And pointing at dolls.
Read the thing again.
Amalia. And Aegon comes in, he goes, you've dirtied the bed. Oh my god. She brings that thing. Get Dawn to Egg in King's Landing. And he goes, Dawn?
They have the sword. The guards downstairs.
A gold cloak comes in. A ton of these armed guards with a blade. Your Grace. The man claimed this was Dawn. And he looks at it and he takes the longsword in his hands. Leave us. And the gold cloak nods in the Kingsguard. The Lord Commander, Sir Roland Craycall, goes, Your Grace, I don't think. And he goes, leave us, Roland. Roland leaves, and Dunk leaves, and he goes, not you. And he turns back. Who gave you this?
I would know. I would remember
Ulrich.
his name.
Yes.
Ulrich. I can't. What was his forename? Amalia? Do you remember?
Dane.
Dane.
Noble House Dane.
I think I'm gonna run with this. He has a horrible memory.
No, I like
I think
that.
this is really good.
I like it.
Which is why she's gotten so good at writing stuff, because he always forgets.
Egg nods. He goes, my uncle. My sister's brother.
He said that he was my uncle too.
Where are you from?
Lise. I was told to find Egg, and he points to Dunk again.
And Tongue goes, hold on.
I don't know why I was told to meet with a knight when the king was here, but
Aegon is what you will refer to me to. There is no egg. You're from Lise?
Yes.
And you know of your father?
Of him, I was told things.
Is your sister?
Different parentage. Okay. At least on the father's side.
You said her name was Amalia. Vela, honey, could you show Amalia to the kitchens and get her fed? And Amalia like perks up, and Vela's like, of course. Your Grace. And she kind of laughs and goes, yes, honey.
You can go with her, Amalia.
She thanks you, and get her fresh clothes as well. No offense at all.
We've been on a boat for 2 months. It's understandable.
You warm up by this giant fire the princess had raging.
Where? I assume this is Westeros?
Yes, you are in King's Landing in the region of the Crownlands. You're in the capital of Westeros.
I'm glad the maps weren't wrong.
And you sit before her king.
Is it my grace? What is the proper?
You know what? You can't call me Egg. And Duncan kind of closes and locks the door. This is Sir Duncan the Tall.
It's a pleasure to meet both
you
of you.
You will refer to him as Sir, but you can call me Aegon, whatever. He sits, and Duncan is just being silent. This large, moving statue you can't see behind the helmet. You knew your father's name?
Arian?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Arian.
Arian. Other than that, he was an awful man, is all I remember.
My brother was Arian. He passed 2 years ago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
What was Ulrich doing in Essos? Why did he send you here? Where's he at? We haven't seen him in so long. He left with Arion when he was exiled, but he never returned. I can't believe Dawn returned. And he gives this blade to Dunk, and he goes, "Make sure this gets to our grandfather, my grandfather." And he goes, "Hey, I don't want to leave you alone." And he goes, "It's fine, Dunk." And Duncan takes this large blade and walks out of the room.
He died protecting me. Prior to my escaping on the boat from Lys, he swore to protect me with his life, and he kept that promise. I have never had anyone give me something like that. I do not wish to waste a gift.
Eventually, enough people will give their lives to you, and it'll feel like nothing.
That's an awful thing to say.
You don't get to talk to...
I'm sorry.
No. We are kin. Nephew. That is what you are to me. I will find you a place in my court. I'm sorry you have come upon Westeros in such a unforgiving time. But you deserve a spot here.
I don't wish to do whatever you're referring to. I wish to help in any way I can. And then I just want to be safe. I want Amalia to be safe. That is it.
My grandmother was named Amelia Ulrich's mother, my mother's mother. Do you know who Amalia's father is?
Mother never told me. It was never pertinent. She's my sister. That's all that matters. Why? Sorry.
No,
why?
It's possible Ulrich could have been her father. That matters not. She is your kin and you are my kin. You may be bastards by legality, but that means nothing. At least until this winter is over, you have a home in my court.
This is not how I heard of bastards being treated here.
You could say I'm a non-traditional king.
That's why most whoreborn like us stay there.
We've been sending troubles to Lys for as long as Westeros has a history. They've never deserved that. I wish to confide in you. I have been through much death in the past couple of years. I want you for my family if you are a good and honest man. What is your name, boy?
Taegon. You can call me Teg.
Arian was a sick man. I'm sorry you have him for a father. I have lost uncle and 2 cousins. I've lost father and mother and 3 brothers and some of their children and the king before that. I want you to know I don't look this fondly upon your upbringing. What are you skilled at? What can you do?
I talk out of my ass. It's all I'm good at.
You might be surprised at how useful of a skill that is in the capital.
Not when you say the wrong thing and you can only take 1 punch. But I'll help in any way I can.
Well, Sir Duncan is the size of a castle wall.
What is he, by the way? Is that like a normal person? He's
One
just
might call him half a giant, but that is a man. To the fullest extent of our knowledge.
Jesus Christ. Well, I can't say that, damn
No,
it.
7.
By the Father.
Yeah.
Lucky genes.
Definitely can't say genes.
Oh, true. Lucky parentage.
Blood.
Lucky loins.
No, if he were to have a child, that would be. You would know. Okay.
What can I do? Is there anything I can explain more?
You're good at convincing and deceiving people, to put it plainly.
Yes. I've spent all my life pretending to be someone I'm not. Or embellishing who I truly am.
Well, I do have a spot for you in my court then. Vipers are within my walls. And I want you to help me rid them of them. But that is an issue that can be settled at a later date. Right now, you need food and you need a bath. Would you like the company of a handmaiden while you bathe?
No.
Okay.
Are we in the meeting room right now?
You're in Vela's bedroom.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
No.
No. I'm fine.
I will have a guardsman show you to the. Would you like to eat first? I presume. You're thin as a board. Come.
That's just me.
Come, nephew. And he takes you, and you come in, and Amalia has you guys walk, the Red Keep, very distinguished guards in nice flamboyant armor, lords. You come in, and Vela is sitting on just a table talking to Amalia, not looking at her, as Amalia is scarfing down thick loaves of bread into soup and eating it. So you could argue that the first uncrowned king was Aegon the Uncrowned, not the Conqueror, his nephew, I think. And you come in, and Aegon the Fifth goes, Velo, I would like to talk with them a little bit, if that is okay. And Velo goes, yeah, sure. And he helps her, plops her down. She's 13, but she seems like she has the mind of a child, quite a bit, a couple years under that. And he goes, you should find Kira. And she goes, yeah. And she runs off. Amalia just sits and eats. He goes,
are you okay?
Yeah, here. And she like starts.
No. They'll bring me my own. That's yours.
Eats a bowl of slices of meat that are like dropped in gravy gets brought to you, and he goes like, that should be the most filling thing we have.
Thank you. He's gonna just start eating, and while still looking at egg.
Yeah, I'll have Dunk show you, so I can show you to a quarters that can be locked and kept safe for you and Amalia, and then I will contact you in the morrow to see what we can do for you. I will. Are you fond of your hair?
I've changed it before.
Okay. I'll speak to the guards who brought you in and see how much they realized was occurring. I would recommend finding an alternate name. And then if you're partial to a color, we can get some dye, but there's also some sharp blades around here, if you catch my meaning.
I always thought the hair colors of Tyrosh were appealing, if that's possible.
Inspiration point. No lie, mark that down. Holy shit.
Yeah!
And you just saw Kira of Tyrosh, who had the dyed pink hair.
I should have said Tyroshi. That's fine.
Yeah. We'll get you blue or pink as primary for them.
I'll do blue.
Just like Fagon. We'll get you that. So is there anything else you'd like to do? You'll get fed, you'll get clothed, and then your hair will be dyed blue. Probably Amalia helping you with that.
It was gravy, so I can't save it.
Whatever. I show that you're used to having to pack food for later.
Yeah.
With the bread and stuff, yeah.
Any of the non-perishables. And I then just make sure that Amalia had a good time with the other girl, and nothing bad happened or anything.
And you ask her, she's like, yeah, she's very eager, but she's very knowledgeable about the history of Westeros. I'm sure I can learn a lot from her.
I need to study her dissertation. Like a fully grown person.
Aegon nods and he's like, she's simple-minded to a degree, but she's a very good girl. My niece, your cousin.
It's weird hearing these words.
I am sure.
I appreciate the charity you're showing me. I know it will not soon
to be charitable upon.
I know it will soon not be charity, but currently, I thank you.
I'm not asking for an arm and a leg from you. Hoping I can help you help us. But we can discuss that upon the morrow. Do you have a name in mind?
That's something I don't change. It's one of the only things I received from my mother.
Perhaps Ulrich? Or...
Is Tag not a...
Well, no.
I understand.
Ulrich.
Anything's fine.
I like Ulrich. Will make you sound like you're not from Dorne, like Ulrich would. More Westerosi. Not that Dorne, you don't care. I am allowed to say that. The B from Ulrich coming from Baelor, his uncle. Yeah, if there's anything you'd like to do before you eat, you feast.
No, that'll...
So you guys eat, you get a chamber, you probably get some nice change of clothing. Yeah. You have found you're staying very warm. You have found a home for the time being. Some thick blue like goop gets brought to you, and you take your shirt off and get in a bath and help, and your sister helps push that into your hair. So you have you have blue hair, and your name is Bulric now.
I'm gonna put alias is Bulric.
Correct. Yeah. Bulric the Blue.
Bulrich.
I think it's CK because Ulrich is CK. Ulrich Dane. Yeah.
Cool.
Culrick. This guy got a sentence on the wiki. Made him a whole character.
Heck yeah. As you should. That's what D&D's made for, IMO. Or TTRPGs.
Ulrich Dane is said to have been one of the best swords of the morning, which is the best Dane fighter who gets the sword on. In the first and second Blackfire Rebellion, which were decades ago. So I had him low-key, my goat was washed. I had him low-key get stuck in Lys and maybe Pale. But he was keeping y'all safe.
That was super cool, yeah.
Cool. So back in the north, you guys are riding higher and higher. You have
rode going actually north into the Fingers.
You don't want to go to the Fingers.
That's where we're going. That's where you put us.
Well, no, I can't fucking see.
Are we going into the swamp?
You're going. Yes, you're going through. Let me read.
I had it in the right spot already.
You're going through the Vale of Arryn, through the seat of House Belmore Strong Song, which is the Bell sigil that is unnamed on this, and then you're gonna go up through that to House Reed. So you guys ride, and eventually you do make it to House Reed after you stop for like a day or two. A handful of weeks have passed. You're riding Corliss, trying to stay warm just by trying to get your inner breath on your own skin. And you eventually slowly approach the swamps. Now, it turns from gravel and mud pass to more swamp, and because of that, a lot of the terrain is very frozen. The horses are having a more difficult time. Yes. And you go, and you eventually hear a splat behind you, and you turn, and one of the knights has fallen and is stuck in the mud and has slammed into the mud. Xander gets off his horse and goes, "Someone help me!" and goes to grab and lift this knight. You doing that?
I'm in front of them, right?
Yes.
I am going. How far into the back of the group are we?
15 feet.
So are we like the last people in the group? Are we the anchors, or how many people are behind me? Should be.
I'll say it makes sense for you and Baelish to be bringing up the rear.
If there's not that many people behind me, I'm just gonna yell behind me. You're better off leaving him, and then continuing.
Yeah. Do you want to make a persuasion check?
Yeah. I forgot I took persuasion. That's so sick.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be 12.
Xander barks back. We are not at the stage of this journey where we have to do that yet. Oh boy! And he lifts this guy and tries to get him back on his horse. But the horse kind of teeters and whinnies and slams again, and the guy falls into the mud again. The horse dies in the mud after slamming its hooves and kind of trying to get up and dies. The young man, a Riverlander who has ginger hair, goes, "This is a pointless venture. Why not just ride south and beg?" That is occurring. And Xander takes off his helmet and he goes, "Because, boy, we are Knights of the Vale. We do not beg. We will make it to the Vale." And he gets hit in the head by a rock thrown from a sling. And he teeters and slams down. Make a agility check as rocks get thrown as Baelish goes, "7 hells," and people go and kind of dodge.
You said agility?
Yes.
That's going to be a 17.
17, you are able to dodge your horse. As people are freaking out, someone shoots a crossbow. It seems like some small, or not small at all, actually. It's just some figures that are hiding or throwing rocks, whether with slings or shooting arrows, ambushing you and kind of fucking you up bad. Robert Redfort, who is probably the third under Unwin and Xander, pulls out his sword, and as 2 men rush down, they're just dressed in fur armor. He blocks a big hit and using his heavy sword, slices a knee out and starts slicing them. Roll initiative.
Yeah. I do not have proficiency. That is going to be a 12.
So what do you do? You're looking at, it seems like there's a lot of guys that are running through the marsh, the thick marsh, like brushing their legs and tackling. You look down, Unwin orders all men to dismount and attack. As he gets off his own one, he grabs a hammer and pops out a knee under one of the guys and slams a foot down with his heavy black armor with like a blue swirl on it. He starts slamming into guys. 2 men are approaching from the front. In fur armor, one of them has like a big long spear, and he's rushing and going for your horse.
I, in the moment, have not yet been able to use my sword. So instead of going for the correct killing blow, I am going to try and cut his spear.
Yeah, you force
Lady
your horse
Forsworn.
to ride right at this guy, rushing as he holds the spear up, and you very light blade that you're able to do that very easily and try to chop the spear off. As Baelish goes, "Wait!" and rides after you. Because if people are rushing you, you should not have 2 guys rush away from the fight. That leaves the front open.
So it's gonna be strength.
Yeah. Or you can use strength for that, yeah. Because it's a Valyrian sword. If this was a normal sword that was 3 times as heavy, you'd probably try to have to do agility. But you're just kind of chopping.
That is a 6 to hit.
You go and you kind of try to swing, but you have little experience fighting on sword. And this small person, or larger person actually, this person, slams his spear up, and your lightning dies as you slam into the mud. Baelish rides by and slices the face open of the other one, who kind of speaks in a language you don't understand as he goes. Baelish continues riding and turn around. Lightning is kicking in the mud as you see a tiny bit of blood leave his nostril, and you get up. I'll say that can be your bonus action. You still have an action as this guy, his sword, he goes, shit, and pulls out like a tiny stone, sharpened piece of stone, and goes to cut at you.
I am going to hold the sword in a forward parrying position, just towards out to him, for, like form 1.
Yes.
And
Cheech up.
and I am going to get ready to parry his thing out of the way and then just stab him. Which, that is not an ability I have. It's just the way I'm imagining it. Right. That is still strength.
Yes.
It's going to be a 17.
17. Yeah, you're able to. He has a tiny dagger, so you're able to easily hit it with your palm and just lift him up as you and then pull it out. Roll damage.
It's gonna be 2d10, I believe.
Yes, especially because you're using it with both hands.
It's even a d10. Yeah, it is. 8. 2. That's gonna be 10 damage. Average.
Yeah, you're able to pull out, and he drops down. You turn around. The knights are engaged in fighting. Sir Xander gets up. He has a big welt in blood from the hit, and he like grabs his helm, puts it back on, and starts fighting. You look, and Orson, who was on a donkey riding behind you, is getting like grabbed at by this short figure in this fur armor, and like trying to kick at them with his foot as he's like, and Orson's being grabbed. But Unwin is getting rushed by multiple people who are trying to, the men in fur armor are trying to hold his big black armor and try to get a hold of him. Xander is in a lock. There are multiple people that could be assisted.
I am going to first help Orson.
Okay.
I am going to attempt to swing the sword down onto the man's arms that's trying to hold the horse.
Yeah.
So I'll just roll to attack on that.
And probably with advantage because he's distracted.
Okay. So same. That's a 17 again.
Yeah, he goes to like punch Orson, and you use a trick, not even a trick, but you embody Baelish by doing the same thing, slicing, and he lets go with his other hand in the donkey like whinnies and hits him into the dirt, killing that man.
I'm then going to yell "run" at Orson.
Orson has the donkey move. Xander screams, "We have no issue with you!" But someone comes up and stabs him a little bit in the side and then continues moving. Unwin is thrashing with people. He kicks one and grabs another one and like snaps his neck. Robert Redford, you see his red armor is getting redder as he slices a guy's gut open that's holding him, and as that guy falls, another guy comes up behind with a tiny curved dagger that he gets under Robert's helm, and Robert stops moving and falls to the ground. Xander goes, shit, and comes up and slices and just starts cutting down multiple in a row. He seems like he's hit like a battle fever flow state. Slice. Can I get one more check just to see how you get through the rest of this?
Natural 20, natural 20, natural 20, natural 20. That's going to be a 9.
9. People kind of rush into you. You take several blows in great succession. You take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as you're running and rushing, and one guy comes up and like hits you in the gut with a mace that you tank, and you kick him back, but then another riding by hits you with another mace on the head, and you drop down. Another comes up with a crossbow and aims it right at your gut, but Baelish stabs behind him and grabs the crossbow and fires it into
that
another
doesn't go
guy.
Against my... They don't have to roll for like my armor class or anything?
Bludgeoning, no. Piercing damage, or for this, I wasn't going. No.
It's just my entire character.
That is a good point.
Just you giving me damage.
That is true. Half that damage you just took, I did not factor into the fact that you're an AC build. So how much damage you just take? It was 14, right?
Yeah.
Regain 7 hit points.
Okay. So only lose 7. I haven't done anything yet.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's true. I forgot your AC build, definitely. If I added a subclass that you could add your durability modifier to AC, I would not let you take it. Yeah, you're able to tank the blows pretty good. You like lose your sword at one point, but like break a guy's fingers and shove and grab it. Roll 2d6. The cubes.
Just in case. 3.
You were able to cut down 4 more men. You have not killed since that night 2 years ago, but you have already killed 6 men here, and you killed 4 men that night. You have grown in bloodfulness, and you looking focused, bleeding, injured. You cut down a lot of men. You look around, and a handful of people have died. Unwin is like looking down. Unwin Upcliff at the body of a squire who's like 16 that got trampled by a horse, and he like seems annoyed that this kid died. And looking around, Xander comes and goes, "We need to march faster. We need to get to the nearest shelter quickly. It should be Moat Caitlin. Find horses if you still have them." And look around. There's horses that are dead, squires that are dead. Harold Templeton, your cousin, Baelish is still alive. Harold's alive, and Orson is still alive. We ride now. Give me an endurance check to see if you can ride the continuous amount without faltering.
Endurance check. It's going to be a +7. Oh my god. 15.
15. You're able to withstand pretty good. You come into view of Moat Caitlin, which is just this abandoned, old, mostly wooden and stone castle that serves as the entrance from the neck, which is House Reed's area, all the way into the rest of the north. As you approach, you see that the wind has picked up and it is hammering down on you pretty bad. You guys ride through Greywater Watch. Riding and riding and riding. Wind blowing in your faces. The drawbridge slams down, and there's figures at the drawbridge that are holding torches. And everyone kind of looks around, and Xander goes, "It'll be fine!" And he rides up in the front. You are on the back of Baelish's horse, I should say, because Lightning passed away, unfortunately.
I thought I would get on Orson's donkey.
That makes sense, too. Yeah, you guys ride in, dropped down. A man in a dark cloak with a dark beard and a dark, long, curly hair, all of it curly, a long face, goes, "Where are you injured?" And Xander takes his helmet off. He's bleeding still. He's like, "That boy, that one." He looks to you at your like wounds. He's like, eh. And those people that are heavily injured get taken and attended to. And he goes, "What happened to you?" And Unwin walks up. He goes, "You're fucking people. That's what happened." And Xander's like, hey. "You're fucking people." And grabs the guy and he goes, "My people did nothing. You haven't met any of my people." And he shoves him back. "What happened?" And everyone just kind of is sitting there tired. And he looks to you, Coy. He's like, "Someone gonna answer?"
We were attacked by some people with like slings and stone knives. Is that something you recognize?
You see a woman approaches and goes, "No, that'd be the Krennic men. They have no need to attack any of you. They are loyal to the Seven Kingdoms. That would be, you guys are, your lot is clearly oh my god. Your lot is clearly Knights of the Vale. They would not do that."
Their fates have already been decided since they attacked us.
The man closes his eyes and turns to his wife, or the woman, goes, "Jane, I need you to contact, Bessa. I need you to get your Lord Father." And she nods and runs off. He goes, "You boys are lucky. This guy seems like he's in like his late 20s. We've had men stationed here once every 2 weeks for a day. If we weren't here, many of your men would have died. And a commoner woman comes up to you and she's like, "May I help you? I see your armor is dented. Is there any blows under that?"
Help others.
She nods and goes on to another one. Baelish catches his breath. "That's the most I've felt alive in a long time. Here, let me take off your gorget." Then he takes your helmet off and kind of inspects you.
I'm fine. Just a bruise here, cut there.
The man comes over to you and he's like, "You're is that man with the long hair? Is that your leader?" And you look over to Xander, who's like, his eyes are dilating and focusing from the large head wound.
Supposed to be.
Oh,
I didn't say that.
Fuck. He seems like he's out of it, and the other one seems like he's dead in the head. I'm gonna talk to you. What's your name?
Corliss Corbray.
Brandon Stark. And he goes to shaking. And what are you all doing so far north during a blizzard, a winter?
Coming to meet you and your kin.
What business do you have with House Stark?
We come from the Eyrie. We seek assistance. We need food and supplies.
And Baelish kind of looks between you two.
That's correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
we have more than enough to give. You'd have to talk with my Lord Father about that.
That is the direction we were heading anyway.
Lord Cousin, apologies. And that was a mistake on my part, but I will leave it in because no, his uncle would have been my cousin. Edwile is Lord of Winterfell. I can get you to him. Ned's a good kid.
Absolutely.
Yeah, shit.
What is this place?
Moat Caitlin. It's not the head of House Reed, but it's the entrance into the north. You're lucky we're all here. If we ride hard, we can get right to House Stark. You don't even have to waste time with Manderleys, the Dustins, or the Kerwins. We can get you right there.
That'd be amazing. I don't know if everyone here is fit to travel. It might be best. Are there supplies here?
Not here, but my wife, Bessa, she's of House Boggs. They are not large, but they could hold your wounded until you return, or until they're better, and then we can send men up too.
They'll need less food sitting around than they will traveling. It's best we take fewer.
Yeah.
I just need
take less
my
men, that's good.
Squire, a Baelish. That's all I need. Anybody else who's willing to come, of course, can. But
how are your how's the rations you have on you? And you kind of look at Baelish, and he's like,
"We're about at it."
Bad at it. Sparse. Okay. We have some here. And you're all starving. Yeah. I can need this expedition. And Bessa returns, and she goes, "My Lord Father Howland," and Howland, who is like an older man, 60s, nods, and he goes like, "We can keep your wounded." And he's a short individual, also like closer to 5 foot than 6 foot.
Little finger. Just anytime I see a short character.
We can keep your men. We'll keep them safe from any lizard lions that somehow are still up during winter, and there shouldn't be any cranning men attacking you. We will investigate this matter, I swear to you.
That's more than fine. Let me talk to my commander.
Yeah. We'll be ready to leave within the hour.
Yes, sir.
Howland Boggs walks off and like starts talking to people and helping the wounded.
I then walk over to Xander, and whenever I walk over to him, does he notice me immediately, or is he?
No, he's kind of staring, and he seems like he's trying to make a face, like he's not trying to puke. And he's like,
Xander.
Oh, boy.
We are gonna go to Winterfell.
Okay.
You will stay here with the other wounded.
Wounded? Boy. I'm fine. It's a day's ride, if that, to Winterfell.
I'm rolling insight.
Mm-hmm. He's rolling deception.
That's gonna be at 11.
You don't think he's doing great, but you think if he's up for it, he'll do better at Winterfell. They'll probably have a better maester there, and if he's up for the ride, he would be better healed there.
Tell somebody here that you decided to go with us on your own accord. Then sure.
Yeah.
Just
Thank you, kid.
I just need you to know, I would prefer you stayed. That is your decision. And then he's going to walk away.
The Bright Knight walks up to Unwin.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Well, he was Unwin. I need to keep our wounded safe here. And Unwin kind of nods, but goes, "Are you sure that our position shouldn't be switched?" And he's like, "No, I will ride to you." And he turns to Brandon, "Your Lord Father. I'll ride to him and bring him the words that Jasper Aaron has told me to."
Lord Cousin?
Yeah, Lord Cousin. Jesus Christ.
No, that was a him mistake because his head's all fucked up.
Oh no, yeah. I will tell Lord Stark what Lord Jasper needs him to know. And he affixes his helmet. And if there's nothing else you need to do beforehand, you guys leave within the hour.
Heck yeah.
You guys mount, ride. It's a hard ride, and eventually the horses move so slowly that you guys have to walk them. You guys have to dismount and walk them. Orson has surprisingly complained very little, but you look behind him and he's like, you look behind you and he's actively shaking with every step he takes.
Orson, just sit on the donkey.
No, I'm not. Stop.
I will beat you until you're blue, son. And you're already blue. Get on the fucking donkey.
Yes, sir. He gets up, Baelish comes over and lifts him up. We should be there within a handful of hours. How old are you? Yeah. You guys move through the lands of Dustin and then Kerwin. And Wyman Waxley, who has like curly blonde hair and a thin goatee, comes up to Xander. He goes, "We're gonna starve before we make it there. We're in Dustin land, or we're in Kerwin land. We can find a stockade around here, a cache or something, and take their food." And Brandon Stark, who is dealing with this winter a lot better, but he is still clearly affected, turns and goes, "No, the Kerwins are sparse. They've been doing a great deal to make sure we are not taking their food. They have done wonderful job making sure it maintains and lasts throughout the winter. We are not taking their food." And Wyman goes, spits at his feet, but like no spit comes out. "I could give a shit about what you think. We are gonna starve before we get there." And Brandon goes, "I will cut your head before we take it." And Wyman goes, "I think we can have other ways to make food." And he pulls out a dagger and goes to grab at Brandon as people are watching.
I am going to pull my Lady Forsworn out. And
Lady Forlorn.
Forlorn, yeah. Sorry. I always switch that.
Is it written as Forsworn? That's not going to help.
No, it's Forlorn.
Lady Forlorn.
And I'm just going to point it at him. Not even like closely. I'm not like having it at his neck. Just like...
Brandon, who was like grabbing the knife, goes, "I think all your men agree with you." And they look around. Lightman, his possible lover, pulls a blade and aims at you and goes, "We need to eat before we make it there, or we will not make it there. That's simple." And everyone's kind of pointing at each other. And Brandon is...
If you kill the cousin of a Lord Paramount, that's what Stark...
Correct, yes.
Of a Lord Paramount, you think that you will survive at that point?
Lyman goes, "Well, no one would have to know, would they?" It has the blade. And Brandon, he actually seems to be getting overpowered, probably because he's been out of Winterfell patrolling Moat Cailin for far too long. All this is happening, and then before you know what happens, punk! A mace to the back of the head of Wyman, the one aiming a sword at you, not even the one. He drops to the ground and he's shaking, and Xander is behind him, just... and he starts beating down. And as that's happening, Wyman goes, "No!" And as he turns, Brandon gets a hold of the blade, holds it up to his neck, and slits his throat. And after Xander's done beating, he just looks around, and the two bodies are there. And Brandon's, "I'm sorry. Winter makes men villains. I'm sorry this had to happen. We have to go now.
Let's move!" And he's gonna scream at everybody. Can I roll
Christian like shakes.
an intimidation check?
Yes, with
to,
advantage.
To make everybody move fucking faster.
Everyone is just kind of sitting there, staring at the two men that just died.
Would have been a 19. That's happened like 3 times. That is 21.
19 plus. Yeah, everyone nods, and Brandon kind of nods, looking at you with some newfound respect. Riding off, you guys make it. You approach Winterfell, and it's in your sights as you guys are making your way. Make a perception check.
14 minus 1, 13.
14 minus 1, 13. You hear a low howl. And Brandon goes, "Fuck, move!" And you guys are forced to jog. As you hear the sound of a wolf approaching. Make an agility check. Make an acrobatics or athletics check with strength to get to the gates of Winterfell.
I'm also going to tell Orson to get off the donkey and begin walking, and then letting the donkey go.
Mm-hmm.
So that the wolves get him first.
As you do that, the donkey like trots off, and you just see the donkey gets like, it's a dire wolf. The donkey gets tackled and just disappears as everyone's like, "Oh!" screaming at
We're
that,
close
and they
enough.
run.
We can come back out and get the supplies later.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rolling endurance again.
Yeah, this would be endurance. Yeah.
Okay. 7. 16 plus 7. That's a really big
23.
number. 23.
You guys run, and Brandon slams on the gates of Winterfell. And goes, "Brandon Stark, open!" And they immediately start to get open as a direwolf approaches. Actually, let me look up the history of a direwolf. Not Discord.com.
I'm pretty sure that House Stark has a few pet ones at some point.
Yeah, but I don't know how long they've been extinct for when that happened.
They weren't extinct. They just hadn't been below the wall in a certain amount of time.
Great. According to Theon Greyjoy, direwolves have not been sighted south of the wall for 200 years. But Theon is no expert. And I doubt Ned would be like, "Yeah, Kraken, I agree." You just ignore him.
Yeah.
So, direwolf. Brandon turns his sword. People pull Valyrian steel blades, or you do. He eyes that blade cautiously. He sees you. Roll an attack as the wolf rushes up and immediately tackles one guard or one knight and bites his throat out. And as the squire tries to come up to stab him with a little dagger, he turns and bites that squire's arm and shakes. And as the squire's entire body gets moved back and forth, he tears the arm off.
You're gonna hate me for this.
I want to snap the neck of the direwolf.
Just get a crit. Just get a crit. That'd be so fire. And does this work the same way as D&D, where it can just say that this is non-lethal?
That would be a really big difference in the A Song of Ice and Fire TTRPG, where people accidentally die from stuff all the time. I would say no, you can literally cannot do that.
Cool.
You can if you want to like intimidate someone if they're low and like make them yield. If you're like, "I want to try to make this guy yield," but hurting someone enough to where they're not dead is a very finicky process.
Yeah. Okay.
Ask Baylor.
19 or 20, 19 or 20, 19.
Well, I thought you got offended by what I said. 40. Still a high. If you hit him, you hit him.
I wanted to get him. Like a Pokemon. That's gonna be. It's just strength, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's just gonna be a 16.
That does hit. Or no, strength and proficiency because you're proficient with your ability and steel.
That is true. That is going to be an 18.
That does hit. So roll 2d10 damage. You come up to slice him, and you kind of have to weave at first as he goes to slice to claw at you.
9.
You slice up his side, and you
10.
and he goes and slices up your cheek. You have one big long scar that goes across your face now. And Xander comes up and stabs it down. And Baylor or Brandon comes up with like a little sadness in his eyes, but he grabs it around the neck and holds it so you can make another attack with advantage.
Give me 1 second.
Okay. Fireball.
I kind of want to capture it. It's a fully grown one. It's not going to be able to be trained.
Yeah,
I'm going to kill it.
The dire wolf.
If it was a puppy, it'd be different. But 15.
I'm also of the
2
opinion that
2.
if like Theon had been given the
19.
dire wolf, that shit would have ate him. The Starks are magical. If Theon had gotten one of them bitches, he would have been dead.
I think that's just because he's a bad person. Nah, he's not a bad person. He's actually kind of.
I mean, you could, you could argue not pure of heart, with like the other Stark kids are at
in
the
my
start
brain,
of the series.
It's more of a wolf thing that they're able to smell intentions than it is Starks are magical. But either works. It's the same.
Yeah.
Goal or
what'd you get?
I got a 19.
I think you're able to slice deep in his head and slice the head off as the doors open, and everyone kind of the 10 or so men left. People rush in and you guys slam to the ground, take your armor off.
I'm going to, from that battle, pick up some of the snow from the ground and just place it on my forehead.
Everyone's breathing heavily. You see approaching is a 25-year-old man who has like his hair shaggy and down his face and a beard, and behind him someone that he's like holding behind him exiting from a house is a very pregnant woman, and he's like, Brandon, and he rushes over, and then running behind him is a 27-year-old man who looks identical to Brandon in features, and they all three embrace, and Brandon goes, Ned, Benjen, and holds them tight.
Benjen Stark.
Not the Benjen and the Brandon.
They just all have the same
George
names.
has a habit. Yeah.
We're like 40 years before 60.
40 years before Ned is born. Well, I'll tell you, the pregnant woman is pregnant with Ned's dad, Rickard. So that's a very good metric. Rickard, the one that the Mad King...
2 generations away.
Yeah.
Is how we should think about it.
Yeah. Tywin's ass. I think he's alive. Let me check. Yeah, I kept on meaning to.
He's been alive forever.
I think he's alive. I don't think he's old enough to be...
any importance.
I know he's not alive yet. Egg was just king for a long time. Not a very long time, but a decent time compared to all his other family members. Okay, so specifically in reference to me mentioning Egg, because Tywin was a cupbearer for Egg, so that's always a fun, like, well, if Tywin was a little kid and he was a cupbearer for Aegon, that gives you a metric. But no, he's not even going to be born for 7 more years. Tywin. Okay, you guys embrace. He goes, get these men healed and fixed. And yeah, you guys get brought in, and immediately without to your face, you get like moss rubbed in the wound. You get moss rubbed in the wound and like salt peppered on it, and boiling wine. It gets done on the people that have like mail cut into them, and you guys get wrapped up. You fall unconscious. When you wake up, you're in bed. Your face is very sore. Your body's very cold. And Baelish, sitting not armored, is next to you, just in his cloth. And you guys are in like a wooden or a stone room.
Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Baelish.
Corlys.
How many survived? He's like choking between each of the words.
Here, have some water. I don't want to count. I can. Me, I survived. Obviously, you survived. Your cousin Harold, and Orson survived. Xander is here. Unwin, I don't know about Unwin. He's back. And then 2 knights I don't recall the names of, in their squires.
I'm going to say something, and you can tell me it's a awful thing to say. If it is, something needs to be done about Xander.
In what manner?
You saw what he did. Those men were making a poor decision, but they were mistaken at best.
One of them wanted to gut a Stark of Winterfell. You wouldn't have made that decision no matter how desperate, unless you were threatened.
They were threatened. But anyway, it doesn't matter at this point.
I cannot say I would have done what Xander did. That was terrifying to watch. I fear. He kind of like looks out this window that has the shutters. He opens it. Xander, he is debilitating quickly. I could almost not understand what he was saying the other time. You've been asleep for a day and a half. His words.
My wounds were that bad?
I think it was your body, the temperature, the lack of food. Your wound healed decently. You still have your looks. You still look like your father. It's not bad. I think your body was about to shut down.
I haven't been eating as much. That makes sense.
But we've been helping you, and now that once you're ready to get up, we can get you to the keep of Winterfell. And get you fed. Lord Edwile does wish to speak with you. He wishes to speak with everyone. Apparently, there's been differing accounts on the involvement of the Krennic men, and it seems like no one has any recollection of the previous two parties that were sent out.
Then we can assume it was them.
If they're dead, or maybe a pack of direwolves came upon them, or maybe they all fell victim to an avalanche, or I've been hearing stories about monsters in the woods. It could be a million things, Corliss. I do not want to be the reason a war starts, even if...
You saw what those things were. I don't understand your sympathy, but I appreciate that you have it. Let's go meet with the Starks.
Yeah, he helps you get dressed and puts like a thick, heavy black coat on you made of fur. Yes, come. And he shields you as you make your way. Sat at the table eating.
Is there... Sorry, before we continue. Is there like any... Are SOC people treated worse in Westeros?
Yes. Dornish are treated worse.
So was that Baelish being like, "Oh, I've heard this talked about my own people before"?
It could have been Baelish. There are a few SOC who don't look Middle Eastern or Hispanic or like people of color in our real world. In my mind, this Baelish is one of them because Peter Baelish is not mentioned to look SOC or Dornish or anything like that. Mm. So this Baelish isn't really indistinguishable from a Riverlander or a Valeman or a Northman. In terms of looks, he looks like a white boy. But you seem like the opinion he just came on, he has some personal reasoning as to why that could have been.
Cool. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Now you make your way. Sat at the table is Edwile Stark and a very pregnant woman next to him who seems a couple years younger. He looks 25. She looks 21, 22. An older woman who's like 40 is sat there as well on his other side. And the two twins, Brandon and Benjen, are there as well. And you see there is an empty seat next to Brandon and Benjen. And then a maester is there, a castellan is there, a castle. Cassel, a castle, a Mirror of House Castle, who are normally the castellans, Roger Castle, like that. Ned perks up. He sees you coming. He's like, "Oh, come, sit. Eat, please." He orders, and they bring a bowl of like gruel, but it's warm at the least, which is the most that can be said. I wish my uncle, the twins' father, Artos, was here, but he is away searching for any remnants of these men who evidently died in our lands. Do you have anything to say as you eat? Take your time, of course.
I was told that the beasts that attacked us were called Krennic men.
Krennic men. Just men. Swamp men. Same as I'm a northerner or you're a Valeman.
They didn't... Why would they attack us?
We have no idea. Benjen, or Brandon, is married to a Cranningman. Uh, the Reeds, the lords of the Cranningmen, have been brothers to our Starks for generations. I that is one of, in addition to Artos searching for corpses, he's attempting to get to the bottom of which Cranningmen attacked you and why they would ever do such a thing. And if they're the same parties responsible for who have defeated your previous parties. The Vales are brothers. Murdered, correct. The Vales are brothers. The Valemen are brothers to the Northerners. We do not want Jasper, Lord Jasper, to be under the impression that we would ever willingly harm them. And you look behind him, and he looks to a large Valyrian steel greatsword. Gigantic, bigger than you've ever seen. If we discover who's behind this plot, I will execute them myself. I will pass the sentence and I will swing the sword. I promise you that. What is your name? I'm Ned.
I am Corlys Corbray.
Corlys.
I will have to tell my Lord Paramount of what the Cranningmen did to us specifically.
We hope by the time the food and supplies are ready to be sent back with you, which we are happy to supply, we will be at the bottom of the mystery as to why this has occurred. If not, you can feel completely free, and I would love for you to tell Lord Jesper that we are investigating it internally, and we can keep him updated with ravens if they can make it through the storm, if it lessers.
If you sent a party to the Eyrie, and that party, or even 2, 3 parties, never came back, and you learned it was people within the Eyrie, what would you have to say to Jasper, Aaron?
And that just bows his head, but Brandon, his older cousin, speaks up. We would never need to send parties out in times of war. You are here as a... what would be the term? You're here as a liaison of Jasper. We will protect you, but we will not suffer any slings of abuse from your mouth. And Ned holds his hand up. We are not killers. You know that. House Stark has a reputation for a reason. My father, William, earned that reputation, and I will pass it down to my 4 sons. We will find out what hurt your people, and we will bring them to justice. I promise you.
I think the bite of the winter has infected my words. I apologize for the outburst.
I would be just as rageful if tens of my men died. We don't need anybody else passing but from the winter.
I am grateful for the food, and Lord Jasper Aaron is going to be more than grateful for your assistance. I am not the leader of this group, as you may have come to know. Lord Xander was originally the person leading.
Originally?
Is still. Have you spoken to him?
Yes. Sir Xander is being kept in a room just as you.
I would describe that as indisposed. It's not a thing of grandeur. I will not gain anything by taking lead for half of a mission. I wasn't not saying that as in a power grab.
Are there not older officers within your faction that might serve better? And he kind of looks to Baelish, and Baelish, who is eating, goes, My thoughts are that Corlys would serve as a better commander than I. He is a strong young man that I believe your northern values align with his.
Baelish's sword is also sworn to me, so it would not work in terms of the pecking order.
He's a good kid. Edwin nods. If Ardos returns with word of misfortune, I will call upon you and Baelish to assist in executing whatever party is responsible.
I would greatly appreciate that.
Of course. In the meantime, get some rest and eat as much as you would like. We have enough for the great service you have provided the Vale.
I first wanted to just ask about your sword. And he looks up at ice on the wall.
Ice. Valyrian steel, I hear you hold one yourself.
Yes, Lady Forlorn, the sword of my house.
Benjen goes, that makes that one of 3 Valyrian steel swords in the north, of the one on Bear Island. And Brandon nods. Quite a weapon you hold.
I worked very hard to get it back. I was just curious if you knew, and I'm just going to roleplay this as if, why am I always forgetting his name? Corlys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to roleplay this as Corlys not knowing where the swords themselves came from.
Mm-hmm.
He just knew that his house owned it, but he doesn't know where they're from. Do you know who made them? My father never had the chance to explain it.
Valyrian steel of Ord Valyria, Ned says. You know the Valyrians.
Yes.
You're a raven with a dragon's name. I would hope so. I'm unsure if they use dark magic to create them or dragon flame. They are simply, one has not been made anew in a very long time, and I would be surprised if one got made anew in the next 100 years.
I see.
I do not know. Lord Mormont, on Bear Island, as Brandon said, holds the only other one, Longclaw. This is ice. What is your blade called?
Lady Forlorn.
If Lord Mormont was here, he'd tell me to take you to a heart tree. No man can tell a lie in front of one, according to him. But I trust you.
I appreciate your trust. Your trust. If you will allow me to, I would like to speak with Lord Xander.
Yes. I'm sure Baelish can show you to his quarters. I do not know when Artos returns with the foresters that he took to scout, but when he does, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good day, my lords. And he's gonna walk out.
Yeah.
And towards wherever.
Yeah, Baelish helps you make to outside the walls of Winterfell to Winterstown, where Xander is being holed up in. He opens the door for you and just lying in bed, kind of blinking rapidly, like flexing his fingers as Xander in bed with a bandage around his head with his shirt off, and he's sweating.
Is there anybody else in the room other than him?
No.
Okay.
Corlys. Baelish, how do you two do?
We're doing fine. How are you?
Good. I should be ready to assist when that Stark gets back and finds out who's responsible for all those deaths.
Mm-hmm. What do you remember of the fight?
The wolf damn near took your eye out. Before that, the Cranningmen. Lots and lots of us died.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can recall. But beyond
it's
that,
a blur.
Huh?
It's a blur.
Yeah. Beyond that, Harold, your cousin, came by and asked me a couple things similar to you. I guess testing my memory. I think I did well though. I remember Xander of House Egan, Father's Vardis, things of that nature.
I assume concussions in Game of Thrones are like so common.
Probably. Yeah.
These questions are probably just things that are like.
Probably
make sure he knows this.
For a squire to ask a knight, yeah.
Right after he's taken a big hit, yeah. Who's the king of the Iron Throne?
Dog, I don't fucking know. Name every Brandon Stark. Name every Aegon.
Um, they are getting a party together to send back to Lord Jasper Aaron. Um, that journey is going to be very, very treacherous. Uh, I would appreciate if you could go with them. They're needing someone to stay here to then fight whoever killed our previous search parties. Jasper Aaron trusts you the most, so it's best if you speak with him.
Make a deception check with advantage.
Oh my. I want this old man out of here. Get him out. That's. You said persuasion check?
Yeah.
Or no, it's deception.
Deception, yes.
It was deception. That's an 8.
8. He got a 3 on his insight, so he's like, yes, yes, that makes sense. We'll get back that food and save the veil, and I'll make sure it gets there.
Thank you. We're all thinking that's probably where you.
You're a good kid, Corliss. Pats you on the shoulder.
I appreciate that. You just make it back safe. And he's going to walk out with Baelish.
Stay safe, Creighton.
He's going to shut the door and then look at Baelish and say, I don't give him a month.
I don't know.
I think the best option is for him to go back as quick as he can.
I agree. If he passes, it should be amongst his kin.
Fuck.
Let's get you back down. You suffered blows.
I'm fine.
Come. You guys make your way to the quarters you are staying in. And that gets finished for there. Artos Stark is riding with Gregor Forrester, who's an elderly Forrester soldier. They're riding together. And Artos goes, do we have any... Sorry. So Gregor rides up with his search party. Artos has his search party. They're screaming over that blizzard. Have you seen anything on your ventures, boy? God, everything mixed up. Fuck. Artos, who's 39, the oldest, besides the mother, Melantha. So I didn't say that earlier. Melantha Stark was the mother of Edwau. Gregor rides up and goes, I'm sorry, sir, but you should see this. They ride over and they find a ton of corpses in a clearing hiding behind a thicket. Artos dismounts and looks at all of them. He goes, this looks like execution. Their blades are bloody and these are cuts, not gashes. And Gregor goes, that's not the only thing, my lord. And he hefts up a body and takes a branch off of it of a dead corpse wearing a Stark sigil, wielding a Stark blade. And Artos goes, he looks at it and goes, shit. One of us started a war. Back in King's Landing. Tagon, or rather Bulric, wakes up. His blue hair has lightly dyed the pillows. There's a rapping at his door. Amalia is a separate bed at the other end of the room, and she wakes up.
I get up, kind of rub the sand out of my eyes, and then walk over to the door and say who is it before opening.
King Aegon wishes for you to speak with him upon a matter of what you are staying in King's Landing to do, my lord.
Where is he wishing to meet me?
If you are free right now, he would love to speak with you right now. Apologies for the early call.
Where?
In your chambers, if it pleases you, my lord. I was told it was a more personal matter.
Absolutely. If he's coming here, that's more than fine. I'm willing to go wherever.
The door gently opens, and it kind of swings open a little bit. Gerald Lannister enters, this portly individual with a thick, curly, blonde beard, looking like a Lannister. He goes, He sent me on behalf of him though, just to have a conversation. What specifically? And he kind of takes a seat, and Amalia like covers herself and like goes to a closet. What specifically do you want from your tenure here? He knows what you're here to do, but lordship titles, things of that nature, and he takes a heavy seat.
Well, I am just here to inspect a lot of the breweries around King's Landing. I've heard that there has been some yeast problems.
In the heart of winter. Please make a deception check.
There can be yeast problems.
Oh yeah, and ale
can get
and
diseased.
mead would get.
No, I didn't. I
Get it in there, buddy.
Yeah,
Use your dragon dice.
I should have.
Use the Birdman dice. Ain't playing the Birdman. You playing
The
Dragon Man.
That's gonna be deception +2 +10, 13.
13. He goes, well, I'm Lord Paramount of the Westerlands, Gerald Lannister, Master of Coin as well. And Sir is a title that's in there as well. If you have anything you would like to ask of me during your time, feel free to. The Westerlands are known for their great prosperity, so if you have any need of coin, feel free.
Absolutely. I'm Bulric. I come from
Bulric.
Tyrosh.
Tyroshi.
I worked under one of the he would probably know this. One of the family. It would be an estate. I worked under an estate.
Yeah, there's a handful of Tyroshi estates. Yeah.
I worked under an estate, working with mead and ale and that kind of thing.
Kira, one of his sisters-in-laws, she's from Tyrosh. Did you know her?
No, that's racist. Sorry, I'm not gonna say that.
Maybe not racist, but you could say something akin to that.
No, I haven't met every person of Tyrosh. Have you met every Westerosi?
Decently. I do my best. Yeah, I simply wished to know of your business, and I'm sure Keegan will be happy to have you in his court.
Absolutely. It's
Sits
very
up.
nice to meet you. Like I said, I'm Bulric.
Fantastic to
This
meet
is
you.
my sister, Trisha.
Trisha comes out, Amalia, fully dressed now and like bows, my lord.
Just in case there's any way they can connect that name somehow.
He nods. Nice to meet the both of you.
Can I
Takes
roll
off.
a post-mortem insight check on if he believed me or not?
Post-mortem?
That just after it happened.
Okay.
Can I?
Yes. Doesn't post-mortem mean death?
Yeah, after death of the situation.
Oh.
It's not a real way that's used, but
Yeah,
I thought it
I
made
like
sense
that. That's
in my
cool.
brain. Natural 20.
He was not there on behalf of Aegon. He was there upon his own desires.
That is not what I was asking.
Oh! What were you asking?
I was asking if he believed me.
He seems to have believed you.
Okay.
I'll say on a natural 20, you can also garner that.
Okay,
He
cool.
was he was there of his own volition and trying to find out who you were and what you
I
were.
assumed.
Yeah. He walks off. And
I'm
Amalia-
going to walk over to Amalia's bed and I'm going to whisper to her.
She like hugs you tight immediately.
I'm gonna go talk to Aegon. Do not answer the door. If you hear a knock,
Okay.
hide under the bed.
Yeah. I'll put a chair in front of the door or no?
If you wish.
Yeah.
But under the bed is number 1.
What's the knock again that we do? Okay. Great. You leave. You hear the scraping of wood behind you as you close the door, and it gets put in front of it. Yeah, and you go find Aegon. You ask a handmaiden politely, and she goes, I believe he is holding court right now. And you go and you walk in there with your blue hair, and there's a couple people that are propositioning him, but that dies.
I also just leave my hood on that I came in.
That just dies down after a while. After Aegon basically says, I cannot afford to give anybody anything right now. And he walks.
Shit.
He walks down the Iron Throne quickly. Actually, he has a chair in front of the Iron Throne. Normally there was a chair in front of the Iron Throne meant for the Hand of the King. He has had a chair put in next to that. Him and the Hand of the King are sitting equal with the people. Yeah, and then he walks over to you. Bulwark. Hello.
I just thought it'd be pertinent that you were aware. I was visited by a man with a cane today. He was asking a lot of significant questions.
He would most likely be the heart of any possible investigation I charge you with, Gerald. He is partly responsible for my position as king. He holds a great deal of power and coin. He also, we have on good authority that Sir Duncan paid with blood for it, that he is taking much too much coin out of our treasury and siphoning it. That would be the heart of our investigation.
All right. I believe he believed me. I told him, just so that you know this as well, that I was here to inspect the breweries for an infection that has been going around. It was a stupid cover-up that I came up with.
That is a better cover-up than no cover-up. I will talk to Mike Castellan and have word gently be spread of that.
If you wish to shift that into just general counselship that you've called me for, I would be able to shift that.
I believe I will. It's good to have you here, Dagon.
It's no problem. I'm going to go back to my room. And if anybody asks, Amalia's name is Trisha.
Trisha. He like shakes your hand and then kind of pulls you. I hope we can find brothership in each other.
Thank you. And he's gonna walk away.
And then before
if he does any insight check on that, it just instantly fails.
Before we do anything else, talk to Amalia, and after that conversation, this session will be ended.
Ellie just got here.
We are ending soon. Thank you very much for tuning in.
At least I think so. She might have said that a while ago. No, that'll be it. I also rolled that with the Raven Man dice, and when I got that nat 20, because I kept forgetting. But yeah, that was so freaking good.
Yeah, you go and sit down with Amalia, and you guys eat breakfast.
Awesome. Yep.
Corliss Corbray in the north, and Tagon.
That's it.
Dagon, yeah, you would be treated as a bastard systemically, but you wouldn't have a bastard surname because one, you're not acknowledged, but two, you are born in Westeros. Tagon and Corliss, 2-player characters.
Did you like that name for the children of Lys, the Whoreborn that I said?
I like that. That was cool.
I think it was really good.
That's cool. This is a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you all so much for watching. We recently uploaded episode 2 of the Hydra Studios podcast, where we go over D&D horror stories, RPG horror stories, and tomorrow we will be streaming session 7 of the Crawl Council. Dang. All the way back in Halcyon, our D&D game. But outside of that, thank you all very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.
Join the Discord.
Join the Discord. It's in the description.
It's in the description.
It's in the description. Okay, goodbye.